who I've killed has been in plate armor, I believe. Oh no,
that is not true.
Celebris, but you had unarmored defense, which is basically plate armor.
Got a point there.
I had an interesting conversation with somebody of, they had the Luxodon monk, and they were confused on, like, they understand mechanics wise, everybody knows why this is a thing, but they didn't understand why unarmored, like, your natural racial armor doesn't stack with unarmored defense. In terms of lore, like, is my skin just bad? And I was trying to convince him that no, it's a matter of monks. I'm imagining, since it's wisdom and dex, you're using your observation of what's going on around you to avoid getting hit. Meanwhile, unarmored defense is literally you just taking the hit, it just can't go through your skin.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense at all half the time.
No, it does. I mean,
well, it depends. It depends on
because it's Luxodon, which is thick, very thick, leathery skin.
Yeah, but there's some races that get it where it's just like,
I only know two races: Luxodon and
Well, I'm not just talking about player races. I'm just talking about like creatures in general. Like, there's some creatures that get
Dragon Blood or Draconic Bloodline sorcerers get a armor adjustment.
Well, that makes sense because dragon scales, but
yeah.
But Dragonborn don't get natural armor.
I thought. Well, no, maybe they can get that as a racial. I thought that was a racial like.
Yeah, it's in Xanathar's, like hardened scales or something. And it basically, is another armor adjustment. But you can't let armor adjustment stack in 5th edition, otherwise everybody would take one level of monk, get unarmored defense, and then everybody would walk around with like mage armor or one level of sorcerer for the draconic line, and just bada bing, bada boom.
You know it.
And then you'd have
everyone
armor up.
Minimum AC would be like 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and he's like, he understands why, but this is for the. But the sad part is of it, it's like. The argument of that is it actually makes more lore-wise sense because if the 2-hit number is higher, if you're going based off of which one's higher, if you're dodging as best as you can, focusing-wise, and it hits you because it did better than you dodging, which is more reliable than your skin, it would most likely still hit you. Which was my argument to him. He's like, I see your point, but because we're in an overpowered campaign, it's considered both, and the guy has a freaking 25 AC.
Yeah.
Again, overpowered campaign. He deliberately.
Oh no! I know. I'm dealing with players like that in this group, but the problem is, we're at 12 and 13. Whereas, campaigns, I think you told me everybody was like at level 7.
8. They just got to level 8.
8. 25. If I was the DM and you guys had 25 AC, like the mobs I would be throwing at you guys.
Yeah, no, they
did I one-shot you? No? Okay. Did I one-shot? Yes?
Vampire King.
Yeah, no, the last enemy that they had to fight was two frost giants and a everlasting one. Everlasting frost giant from Roller's Guide to Monsters.
They smoked him.
We're about to get started though.
Okay.
Alright.
So I would like to say welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is Group B, Legends Lost, episode 1, or Saga 3, episode 1 of their new campaign. And this is gonna be the final leg of this story, hopefully, and I'm so excited. We don't have a full party tonight. If I don't hear back from Onyx, I'll probably just recruit over her slot, and then we'll be at 6. But we're rolling with a new group of people, so I think what I'll do is I'll epilogue the last group, and then I'll let you guys introduce yourself. Then I'll introduce tonight's story, and then we'll just pick up from right there. So if you are watching, and all the other tertiary things. For everybody new to the channel, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. It is a role-playing game. Everything you are going to see tonight is live storytelling. Nothing is set in stone. We are playing in a homebrewed world. It is the setting of Ilderon. If you look in the description of this video, there is a link to the wiki with more information on the setting. And if you are one of my students and you're watching this, this video is PG-13 or more mature. Please go talk to your parents. And other than that, yes, if you watched the last set of episodes from Group B, you'll see they were in basically a shadow plane where they had just killed Iman Solom, a very, very important regional lord of Alonagai, the supreme light of the region of Dawn Touch. So they killed Iman Solom because they found out he was working with a shadow organization called the Seven that was working to bring chaos to different regions of Ilderon. And while the chaos was happening, they were stealing important religious sites from the nations. So picking up from that last episode, I'll go very, very quickly through this epilogue, which is in Group B's channel. So Legends lost after the party beat Iman Solom. Thanks to the tips that thanks to anonymous tips, which this group doesn't know where they came from. Criminals inside of Dockensdale started being arrested left and right. Then with help from Admir, Dockensdale was cleaned up significantly. Lyra Pramada, basically with your guys' aid, dislodged the Archblight from that region of Dockensdale also, and the region is relatively safe. She has selected a new leader for her band, or for her 40,000 mercenaries that she has employed into her army. As the last leader of her army was selected by Iman Solom, and Iman Solom was found to be corrupt. So the authority granted for her to form an army actually came from the Sky Queen and not the Sun Yeth. So in order for her to change her general, she has to consult with Sky Queen Sarai of Elegance, or no, of Grace. That's the current Sky Queen. And Lyra is headed to Sky's Reach in order to handle that. Urkis, one of the members of the old Group B, received a letter from Captain Elian. She informed him that Captain Yaldaughter was promoted to Admiral in light of her heroicism tracking down those Archblight ships that slipped past you guys, and that Elian has been promoted from first mate to captain. She offered Urkis a chance to sail with her, but Urkis left the party and didn't take her up on her offer to sail as he went north to find his mother. Roman got Captain Kenyara, Calendar of the Sun Yeth, to change her oath, changing her oath from the Goddess of Life, taking her oath from the Goddess of Life and giving it to the Goddess of Death. From there, Roman was offered the chance to join the Sun Yeth under Captain Calendar, and Roman declined and decided to take up Iman Solom's dying request of him that he protect his daughter, and Roman left the party. Drelos, while headed back to Pramada Watch, from the Shadowfell, Drelos received several sendings from his sister, or not from his sister, but from one of his sister's guildmates. Drelos had bet the Moonlight Company double or nothing if they could find and kill a Shatterer named Olivia, who is a horrifically evil person who has returned to the world.
Can I interject real quick?
Go ahead.
We did not actually bet anything. We did double or nothing on nothing. We never had an actual amount.
Yes.
Just want that on the.
Rahiman has an intelligence of 8. When you told him double or nothing, he was like, got it. I'm gonna go kill this lady. They were unable to find Olivia. They've searched a lot of the Duraeus Desert over. And she sent them a sending that to fund their travels. They've taken up a job inside of Heimsdale. The Heimsdale princess has gone missing, and Rahiman and the Moonlight Company were hired to find her. So they will not be returning to Elil Nagai. Admir and Terran. Admir and Terran helped all of the criminals inside of Dockensale at the Vanishing Phoenix, and basically raining vengeance on the Bloody Fog. From there, he scried daily on Jimprius Mari. He witnessed a conversation between Jimprius and Olivia. Jimprius needed Ayman Solem's soul for something, and Ayman Solem's only obligation or job within the Seven was to stay alive. Now that he's dead, the Seven is recruiting in other parts of the world. Cordis found out, Cordis was a character that basically had come back from the dead. He was 500 years old. His empire had been destroyed by Olivia the Shatterer, or Olivia the Lost. He found out that the remnants of his culture are fragmented across Galkin, and that there are ascendancy trials, much like in the days of old, that he can take up and become the divine leader of his people. And he has left to take up the ascendancy trials to unite his people and hopefully form a front against the Seven before it's too late. He has left the party. Zodra found a letter on Ayman's corpse. Ayman found Zodra's homeland, or home city, the one that had been slipped into a demiplane and disappeared. Ayman was negotiating with the overlord that is now ruling it. Basically, Ayman explained that while he is in service to Jimprius Mari, he doesn't trust Jimprius Mari, and that he was working on a contingency plan to backstab Jimprius Mari if things went horrifically south, and that the makings of this plan are already in motion. Zodra has left the party to go and track down the various pieces of that plan. And yeah, that's everything that happened to the last group. And we have Admir returning, and Draelos returning, and then everybody else's new characters tonight. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go from the top of Discord down to the bottom of Discord, and we'll let you guys introduce yourself. So you can say who you are, your character's name, and then you can give like a 2-sentence description about your character. Starting with Wolf.
Alright, yeah, I'm Ewolf, and I'm going to be playing Vonvi Selmar. She is, a lot older than she looks, actually, and, she's a bit of a, I hope to, show a different side of my characters compared to if you guys recognize me from Group D with her.
Alright, next we have Goblin controlling Matir.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, I'm controlling Matir Aradim, my half-orc champion fighter. Which is definitely going to be interesting because controlling a heavy frontliner character is not my go-to in the D&D session, so this is definitely going to turn out interesting.
Alright, and I don't know if Anthony's back. He said he had...
I'm here.
Oh, boom. What's up?
Oh, what's up with you?
You should introduce... Oh, well, the ceiling in airplanes, but you can introduce your character.
Alright, tonight I will be playing Admir/Terran.
No, your real character. You know, not Admir, the other one. I'm kidding.
Yeah, don't worry. That's going to be addressed tonight. Don't worry. I'm playing a warlock or a sorcerer warlock with split personality disorder. And if you ever saw them from last season, they are fun. Which reminds me, I got to roll to see who's going to be up first tonight.
All right. Next we have Eric controlling Draelos.
So, my name's Eric, and I'm controlling Draelos. Draelos is, like to put him stealthy McStab, and he cares about money, likes stealing things, and kind of a dark-humored kill steal.
All right. Oh, somebody mentioned me. All right, and finally we have Ramon controlling Siegfried. Siegfried. I was like, however I was gonna say Siegfried, but I was like, however I think I'm gonna say it is wrong, so it's not Siegfried, it's Siegfried. Yeah, it's Zig.
That's good. I knew it was going to be a running thing.
Brandon, for this one, you just got to think of Siegfried and Roy, just without the S, put a Z.
I'm just doing zigzag.
That works too. See how that goes. Hi, I'm Ramon, formerly playing Irkus, who has gone on his own journey. I am now playing as Siegfried Milstein. He is a paladin with a dip into warlock due to his family making a pact with a celestial. His parents were doctors, so he has a bit of medical training, but that didn't work so well for him. So he is a mercenary now working for the university.
All right, and then finally you got me. I'm controlling everybody else. They are everybody else. Okay, so let's do your guys' story from your intro document, and then we will get started tonight. Alright, so the introduction to episode 1 of Saga 3. The path to peace begins with bloodied steps. Silence fills the halls of the arcane college known as the Maphis University. The murder of a prominent professor, Arch-Arcanist Arias Minlor, has shocked the inhabitants of the university to their core. The magical campus has always served as a neutral diplomatic refuge, where any person of any race or creed could come, study, and join in the like-minded pursuit of knowledge. Arch-Arcanist Arias Minlor was one of the world's greatest experts in regards to alchemy. No one is certain who killed him or why. Perhaps the murderer had a vendetta against Minlor because they were a victim of one of Minlor's toxic concoctions, or perhaps Minlor had a great project in the works that inspired jealousy in a colleague. For now, only one thing is certain. The Maphis University is not the safe haven it once was. With other matters in the world demanding her attention, the immortal matriarch of the university, headmistress Dilo Rona, has called upon a group of individuals from her trusted inner circle to look into the murder. Her wish is for whomever carried out the awful act to be brought to light and to be rooted out of the university, or the Maphis University. Unfortunately, in recent months, many troubling internal events have plagued the university. Entire wards of the university were set ablaze, books containing the knowledge of powerful spells went missing once, and the guards to protect the university's prime artifact vault were once compromised. Looking into who killed Arch-Arcanist Minlor might reveal a larger collection of hidden enemies within the magical university. And then each of you would have received a letter from Dilo and Rona. With the trust of the star that guides us, I request your aid. The Maphis University was established with the belief that all beings bearing the goddess's flame have the right to seek knowledge in accordance with the principles of the first Flame Walkers. By doing so, the right of the members to assemble responsibly to responsibly to seek to improve themselves and the world around them, is guaranteed not by the wills of the goddess, but by the ideals of Lilnagian hearts. The university has aided in this goal, and that quest for knowledge, has aided in this goal in that the quest for knowledge be done in a manner that promotes well-informed thought, the common good of the populace, and the common bonds of faith. I fear there are those amongst our ranks who have strayed from these ideals. With the recent murder of Arch-Arcanist Minlor, I can no longer turn a blind eye to those amongst us who wish others harm. I would normally assign this task to my daughter, but she has yet to return from her time in Dockensdale. I ask that you look into this matter and be my eyes, and if the situation calls for it, be the fire of my justice. Find who murdered Arcanist Minlor and remove them. They have no place within our ranks. Talk to Arcanist Lysandia and the Theology Commune. She was close to Minlor. Report back to me when your investigation is complete. All right. So, if you were listening to that, or rather for everybody watching, our story tonight takes place in the religious country of Ililnagai, and more specifically in the capital of Ililnagai, Sky's Reach. Within Sky's Reach, you guys... I forgot another group is in the city too. Within Sky's Reach, you guys are... your story takes place in the university. It is a section of town just outside of the walls. The Maphis University is a neutral diplomatic campus where people from all over the world come to learn and study magic. And in doing so, they also learn a wealth of other subjects. Not only, or not limited to, but including but not limited to, there we go, that's how I want to phrase that. Art, anthropology, zoology, and many other subjects. I think there's like an economy class here too, when I was like making up their campaign, or rather their course stuff. Alright, so we are going to start our campaign in... I have to make sure nobody in here is undead. Cool.
Middle left, if that makes any sense.
Alright.
But I lived in Baden-Württemberg, and then I know the city name, I don't remember the state name for Heidelberg. A lot of Turkish people there. But I lived in Baden-Württemberg.
They're pretty much on the border.
Alright,
Yeah.
We are back live again, and I'm glad that happened because there were a couple settings on my computer that I never bothered to click that I would have never seen if it hadn't. Alright, small blessings.
Every cloud has a silver lining of some kind.
Okay, so we are starting our campaign inside of the university, in the Northern Commons, inside of Ironstar Court. This courtyard is north of the Southern Commons, where the Theology Commune is. It is outside several large buildings that house different classrooms, where most of the general instruction is at. I am going to start off the entire party together as you guys are meeting inside of this courtyard. You all have been given this letter from Dilo and Rona, contacted at various moments of just like, hey, normally I wouldn't ask you of this, but you know, the people who I can trust are, you know, few and far in between. And this really needs to be handled because it's making people uncomfortable. And you know, at various points you guys were contacted and told you'd be working with other people. Meeting inside of the courtyard. Admir is going to see Draelos, who's going to see Matir, who's going to see Siegfried, who's going to see Vanvi, who's going to see Admir. Yeah, that's a whole circle.
Hey guys.
We all just look to the left.
Yeah, exactly. Just stand in a circle.
This is not
Alright.
that 70s campaign.
That's how these.
Somebody
Also,
got killed in the university. Whack, yo. Okay.
You said that there's several other people, because I'm gonna have to roll. I know one of them is also a person who works here at the college, or is that?
Most
Yeah.
everyone here works at the
Everyone.
college.
Pretty much everyone
Um,
here works for the
Yeah.
college.
Can I roll a D100 or something to see
If
whether or
you've
not
met
I've
these
met
people
rec-
before?
Yeah, if
go
I met
for it.
any of these people.
I'm gonna put Admir at 33% or higher, as you would have walked to him while he was an archivist inside of the library. So you obviously /R space D100. I'm going to put Drelos at 50,000, as you guys are 50%.
50,000.
Yeah, as you guys would have taught at least in the same building together, teaching classes. And then I'm gonna put the 2 mercenaries at 75% of you probably wouldn't have wanted to do any work that involved them.
Alright.
Well, it's I'm surprised to meet you both. How have you two been? Saying, looking at the two that she does recognize.
We've had ups and downs, but for the most part, it's been pretty great.
Oh, and Anthony, I have a question.
Uh-oh.
Admir has a split personality. Is he Admir or is he Terran right now?
He is Admir. That's what I rolled the D4 for earlier.
Okay, cool. Carry on.
So, all of us are here for a particular reason. Not to not beat around the bush. What's the best way to go about this? I'd say we start killing everyone, and well, that's one way to root out the problem.
Drelos, have you gotten dumber since Roman left?
Roman helped censor me. Now that Roman isn't here, I'm just a killing machine.
Well, I would.
If it helps put it into perspective anymore, you remember the guy who was supplying Drelos with all of his poisons, his colleague?
Remember?
Yes, he was the guy who was killed.
I'm not particularly happy.
Exactly.
I'm going to roll a history check if I remember that those two are related. Just, I remember it. Yes, I'm sure you're really taking this one a bit more personal than others. And who are you two, if I may ask? Von V looks at the 2 mercenaries. Asking that.
Yeah.
I'm Siegfried, mercenary for the university.
And
Normally, if a job needs to be done, I'm one of the people that's called.
Yes. And I am Mitir. I work.
Well, pleasure to meet you both. I am Professor Salmar, but most of my students seem to like to jokingly refer to me as Dr. Origami.
Pleasure to meet you, Professor.
Right then.
But
Okay. Yes.
So we have a murder and sabotage. Anyone
Yes.
know where we would need to start?
well, I do have a spell and some preparations. Although I might need to get the burner back in my office, I didn't think. But I would prefer it if we got some more clues beforehand before I cast the spell, as it is quite expensive and I don't know how much the college would be having in terms of resources to spare at the moment for me to be casting spells. The spell.
It is my department. If we want to go to my area and take a look, I will.
Why don't we go to the murders first?
Yes. Let us investigate.
Yes. All right.
Has there been any notice on how he was murdered?
I'm going to roll a history check to see if I heard anything. 25.
25? Yeah, so... Oh, I didn't say the date. It is the 20... Yeah, we're just gonna put you guys on the same date as everybody else. Let me make a card for your guys' timeline. It is the 26th of Hunter. And this murder would have happened at least within the past 3 days. So you guys all knew about it in the past day. So yeah, I'm gonna say it happened 2 days ago on the 24th.
Okay. With that history check, do I know any more details of, like, example of what are some assumed ways that he died, or is it known on how he died? Like, what specifically thing killed him, like explosion, magic, stabby through the heart, etc.?
No, stabby.
You guys are the ones who have been assigned to this, but it's like being whispered, like, oh, it's a murder, like it wasn't an accident, like it was a murder. As to why people are whispering that, you know, the information that has been circulating has been foggy.
Well, nothing more than just the fact this was a murder has been circling around by some of my students and a handful of my classmates, but I'm pretty sure we can, if we go to the murder scene, I can figure out something. Pretty good at noticing differences.
You could always investigate the murder scene and perhaps look at the body.
Well, that would be definitely helpful.
Yes.
We might as well head there. If anybody else has any better ideas or wanted to go off and grab something on their way?
Let's make our way there.
And,
Alright, let's go.
Also, don't forget on your guys' on the letters that each of you have, Dila listed a contact for you guys that knew Minlor well.
Okay. Who is the contact, if I may ask?
She said Arcanist Lysandia. And hold on, I'll link that document to you guys. Or actually, I won't link it. I'll put it in the live campaign.
Will I know her, being good friends with Minwar?
That's a good question.
I know.
Roll me a percentage die. I'll say 65% for Draelos, and I'll put it at 65% for I'll put it at 65% for Von V too.
I'm gonna say I'm ignorant of all of my coworkers.
Yeah, well, also she wasn't an alchemist, so.
Oh, I was close. Damn.
Yeah. Like, you've heard of her, but yeah, you're not quite sure who she is.
I'm not.
Just like, yeah.
It is a big place.
It is a very big place. I put the letter in your guys's, or in the live campaign. I probably should have just put that in Group B. Okay, so.
Brandon,
Yes.
since I'm in the library all the time, would I run the chance of running into...
Yeah, I'll put the percentage die for you at 45%, because you would have to get people's names as they were checking things in and out. But you can roll the same percentage die. Yeah, you would know her. She studies, hold on. She teaches in the theology commune, and she studies, I think she studies planar physiology. I'm pulling up her exact title. Here we go. All right.
On the way to my old lab.
Oh, she studies extraplanar forces relating to the wills of Aulilia. Basically, celestials and fiends as they relate to religion. Alright. that is perfectly fine. Everybody's headed to the Minlor's lab. Minlor's lab was in the Yapel ward. It is on the. It is actually not far from the Northern Commons because it's on the northern side. This is Eric. If you remember when you guys returned to the university in that one campaign, and part of it was
stopped in there to grab some poison.
Yeah,
they actually gave me some Bridgetown venom.
Yes. All right. Heading to the Yapel ward, or Yapel ward. Going to Arias's lab, or Arias's lab. Let's see, how well would this place have been cleaned up? It would have, it actually would be waiting on you guys. So as you guys get here, there are going to be there's going to be a whole crew of servants here. They are dressed in pale, they're dressed in pale, tannish pale serving clothes, trousers and a baggy tunic and a blue tabard over them. They are dressed as a cleaning crew, as they have buckets of water, and it would seem they have soap, although they can prestidigitate away grime. They don't have a lot of soap. As you guys get here, one of them's going to step forward and bow and say, we were told to wait until Dila's circle cleared this place for to be clean. Woman steps forward and says, with your permission, we can clean out the lab so it can be renovated for another professor.
Hold on a hot minute. We're gonna be checking this out for at least a little while. You guys can stay outside the door.
All right. Would his body have been moved? No, it would not. Are you guys going to step in here?
Yeah, I'll step in here.
All right.
Yeah.
Being probably the only member that's actually been inside his lab, I'd like to kick things off with an investigation to see what's changed in the past 2 weeks since I've...
You know what? Before I describe the scene, go ahead and give me that investigation check. You look around and you see all the broken vials, the scorched walls, the burnt and broken stone, the charred corpse in the middle of the floor, and you're just like, you know what? A lot's different here. I just don't remember these decorations. But no, as you step inside, the wooden door is the heavy wooden door is barely holding onto its hinges. There are well, actually, opening this place, there's going to be a breeze that pushes into the room, almost like a vacuum, and ash is going to sweep across the floor. There are scorch marks across the entirety of the wall. No torches or sconces in here. Minlor would have had a lab that didn't have windows either. Because sunlight can ruin some things that he was working on, or, heat things much warmer than they needed to be. In all of his vials, books, torn, burned on the ground, table broken. You see a charred body lying face down in the scraps of the table, or what was left of the large table. Any footprints? Let's see. Looking for footprints other than the ones you guys made. You're gonna notice there were some by the door. There were some by the door. It's hard to tell, like, where they went or what they did, because you guys have, like, trampled over them. But yeah.
Alright. Well, this since you knew him more personally, does anything seem out of place to you? Right off the bat, or do you?
Besides the burnt
Basically
corpse.
Everything. Basically everything. Menlor was a pretty meticulous guy, and as far as the lab goes, it wasn't always super tidy, but not like this.
I can tell. Although some people say my room's a mess. Well, I might need some extra eyes. And she'll call in Era to help her with with her investigation check, if that's okay.
Okay, it can provide the help action.
Yep. So investigation, or would it be insight?
Investigation's fine.
My insight was higher. That's why I was asking.
Insight is reading body language and people. You can insight the corpse, but investigation's probably going to yield more information.
Alright, so I'm going to roll that with advantage because I have my familiar with me.
Brandon, what would I need to...
Wow, I rolled shite on...
check the core, see if there's any, if there's anything externally showing, like, what could have killed him.
Material evidence.
Yeah, that's a medicine check, inspecting a body and anatomy.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, you can... Oh, I'm sorry, was somebody else about to say something?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, you can roll a medicine check on it. Investigation yields other things around. And I'm trying to think of like what else you guys could do in here. Yeah, let's go with that for now. Roll me a medicine check.
Okay.
And when he's done with that, is it alright if I do an Arcana check? See if the spell was.
Yeah. My parents were doctors.
Can I?
I'm a doctor.
Inspiration to first making the medicine check.
Yes, you can, but you do have to do it before they make the check. So I'm not going to allow it now, but I'll try and remind you in the future.
Okay.
All right. So, on that medicine check, looking down. Oh, you know what? Why are we in pleasant music? This isn't pleasant. You guys are at a murder scene.
Yeah, no, we're in the middle of a murder.
I'm having a wonderful time.
Material's just like, show me who to kill. Show me who to kill. Show me who to kill.
Oh man, Scorch March blood, hell yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. We're on the suspense music.
This is just like
reminds me of home.
Looking at this body, inspecting it over, these scorch marks and everything, you are going to find several large knife wounds and incisions in his back as something stabbed him. Presumably, well, wait, let's see how smart you are. What is your passive investigation?
My passive
-1.
investigation? Actually...
not yours.
Yeah. Alright. Siegfried is going to find several knife wounds in this guy's back. Who knows what that means, but... Yeah, he exploded
I
and
know.
stabbed a bunch.
it.
I know what that means, but I just can't make heads or tails.
Alright.
So,
What's that wisdom save for?
It was for me randomly clicking other things, trying to get out of the webpage.
Cool.
Hey,
The only one I was trying to do was the Arcana to try to discern the spell.
So
yeah, something dealing with fire.
I would ask one of the smarter people if they can help me out here, since I'm explaining to them like what I found in the body.
I'm no good with the medicine, but I'm kind of smart because of this headband I wear.
I'm pretty good with medicine. You'd be surprised at how many people make mistakes with their...
The people who don't have below 12 on their passive investigation are going to be able to put together. He was stabbed in the back long before he was exploded.
Okay. Yeah, I have an 18 in my passive investigation.
Teamwork, guys.
Yeah, passive 18 investigation. Yay.
And Admir. I'm looking at your passive investigation 2, and you are going to you're going to put together a firebolt. Was probably used but you're not sure like what it was used on, but you can see like a small area near the entranceway of the door where Drelos pointed out the steps, where like there is little to no ash, and little to no like blast marks, as if like the blast extended out from here, like something explosive, like a small spell into something big and explosive.
Like they actually lit something on fire.
Yeah.
Knowing Mendler, would I be able to figure out what he was working on based on what he has out?
No. Well, I mean, it like everything that is here, it is burnt, destroyed, shattered, tattered. I'm actually gonna roll like, even if you get like a 35 on this check, like what he was doing with all this stuff and trying to like put together what ingredients were used for what, it's, you're not gonna be able to put it together.
Well, he's a master of poisons and stuff like that, but that can be mildly volatile. If I just have a baseline knowledge of, was there fuel that added to this, or if it was 100% fireball, maybe we know whether or not it was a strong fireball.
Mindlor invented a poison that was combustible. He gave some to you. It was
I still have a little bit.
Yeah, his death candle sludge.
Is that the same sludge that I got attacked with in Group D? Like, this is out of character.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is something he invented and introduced to the world of Ilderon.
Okay, I wanted to double check that because I'm like, I recognize that name. Was that used on me recently?
Goblin.
Okay,
For the sake of clarity, this world doesn't have gunpowder. This guy invented what would be this world's gunpowder. It's death candle sludge. It's like this slime or goo. When shaken, it turns into a gas, and when exposed, it is very bad. Or when exposed to fire.
Okay, I just want to ask. 2 days ago, when the murder was discovered, was there did the alarm go off or something like that? Because a fireball would have created quite a commotion. It was cast in a small room.
Yeah.
And throw in there that a small room just blew up.
No, there was no alarm set off.
Alright. Huh. Alright,
here's an important question. When the murder was discovered, did anybody... I'm trying to figure out a way to phrase
it. It smells stagnant in here too, by the way. Burnt and stagnant.
Yeah, my character definitely would be holding her nose if she didn't feel like... Oh boy. With the body, how long...
Did anybody close the door? I didn't ask.
I think I would have if I was the last one to enter.
Okay. As you close the door, or as the door has been closed for about this long, you guys are going to feel it getting kind of humid in here and muggy, and almost a thinness of breath. This room is this room's air sealed when the door is shut.
Well, that actually leads me to what I'm doing, because I'm actually going to open the door, because I want to talk to the servants waiting outside.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to ask them just basic questions about like if certain servants cleaned this room, if if they know basically who discovered them or who discovered the
Body.
the murder and stuff like that.
I would follow out.
Yeah. But I am interested to know if there are specific servants that work in this room.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the lead servant is going to shake her head, and she's going to say, "No, sir. We got a report from the room above. The sea stone plumbing leading into this room was backed up and flooding their room. When we went to open the door to unclog the pipes, she shakes her head and says, the first of our staff went to inform the headmistress. The room hasn't been disturbed since."
All right. That's actually very good to know. Is the first of your staff still here?
Let's roll a percentage die.
Okay.
And yeah, they are. She's going to point to a rolling up random NPC. She's going to point to a half-orc behind her.
Oh, brethren.
Yeah, well, brethren, but he's also got a spell tome on his waist, and he's got one of these buckets hoisted over his shoulder. And he's gonna say, "Yeah, I was the first one to see him. Didn't know much about what I was doing. I'm a Fearite here. I just started my studies and working on the cleaning staff between classes."
All right. And when you opened the door, did you see anything particular other than the body?
He'll roll a history check. He's gonna shake his head and say, "No, sir. Actually kind of came to Ilona guy to get away from the blood and murder. To be quite honest, I was a little bit caught off guard."
I'm so half tempted to insult this guy right now, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move on for now. I'm gonna be like, all right, stick around. I might have more questions later, but you're all right for now. And then I'm going to go back into the room.
I'm going to go ahead and scan the room. If something seems like, with my passive perception, kind of looking around. Well, no, because I'm actively looking, I need to make a perception check to see if anything seems out of place on like the work stations or stuff like that. If that's okay.
Okay, go for it.
I'm not gonna roll with it. Well, my bird. I would be having my bird help me look over stuff as well.
Burb.
Yes. 21. Much better.
21. Making a perception check.
Perception.
Looking
over like the works tables and some of the counters and stuff like that. See if there's anything that seems a bit out of place or that seems to kind of stick out to me.
Okay, so there are all the bookshelves of this room are along the walls and where cabinets would be on the upper parts of the room. There are books on the floor that are completely destroyed. If Admir is correct, and the explosion happened at the door, as far as whoever set off what here, that would mean that there was either another explosion hitting these books off the shelves, and then that explosion happening and burning the books, on the floor, or somebody intentionally pulled stuff off the shelves to ensure it was destroyed.
Okay, I have a question. The explosion. Was it? Is it clear that it was cast, like basically on the door or around the door?
It was
like,
cast
just in
on the
area?
floor near the door.
Okay.
From Admir's Arcana check, he recognized the spell Firebolt because you only have to get a 10.
All right.
I would like to remind people that there were combustible materials in this lab.
Yeah.
One explosion could equal more than one explosion.
Exactly. Could have chain reaction.
Yeah. But
Maybe.
that's the problem of how I'm semi-familiar. I'm not completely familiar with this man's work. How close in radius does a heat source need to be for it to blow up and knock over something like this? Actually, I'm gonna make an investigation check to see, whether or not this was an accident, and see what kind of pages would the books turn to if they were turned to a deliberate page to kind of, like, ruin any research or something like that. If
I'd
that's
like to assist him.
You can, you said you're rolling an investigation check? You can roll that, but you won't be able to discern that precise of information.
Well, like...
I'm knowledgeable in it. Can I be a second set of eyes?
Yeah, you can provide the help action, but I'm just saying, from the information available to you guys, like, even on, even if I set it at, like, the impossible level, which would be a 35 on the check, like, right now there's no way to say, oh, this book was open on page 37 before the explosion went off, because page 37 is, burned and and destroyed and in shreds, along with page 1 through 232.
Yeah, this check is more so to see how deliberate was this explosion, or was this kind of a after cause, if that makes sense. Like, if the chain reaction explosion happened because one fireball heated up these vials a little bit too much and it caused it to explode, versus them deliberately making them placed somewhere that they would destroy this type of stuff.
Okay.
I can say with confidence that it does not take extreme amounts to light potentially gunpowder.
Yeah, fair enough. But I have very little experience with this, and I'm not sure how he held things together, but...
I mean, you could always try to find the area of the sources of the explosion.
That's true.
Just to determine how spaced they were, if it looks like they were deliberate or all around one area.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Like, how deliberate was like, the fireball we know was deliberate, but these secondary explosions that are separate from them, that fireball location, was that deliberate or domino?
Okay, so the first check you described to me, if you want to roll that one, I'm putting it at very hard on the DMG difficulty class table, so that's going to be DC 25. The second one you described to me, I'm going to put that at moderate at 15. You can inspect, the books if you want, or you can inspect for explosions. Either or are viable options. One's just significantly harder to discern information from.
Explosions. The explosions and how deliberate they were and how spaced out and stuff like that.
I mean, someone could say this was random, but from what you see, every area of this lab seems equally covered. Somebody probably intentionally laid stuff out after they had killed Minlor.
So it seems that they killed him and wanted to blow up all of that work, from what I'm seeing. I'm going to have also... I'm going to send out Era outside to the servants and kind of keeping an eye on them. Telling her to let me know if any of them starts to act a bit strangely out there.
Okay.
And
You know, we could always speak with people who have offices around here.
Hmm.
I mean, a fireball and several explosions will cause quite a ruckus.
yes, I know that all
So-
too well. But
That
I
does
want to
raise a
make
good
sure
question,
that
though.
we do need to know what we're going to be asking him, as well as how much we know of his office itself, and see if what they say lines up versus what we see. If this place is truly untouched since then.
What were you going to say, Anthony?
I was just gonna say, you pose an interesting question. If the serving staff was the first person to notice his dead body, why was there no one who noticed the several explosions? Or that were
That's what I'm wondering.
discerning.
Hmm.
Can't exactly hide several explosions and a fireball spell,
Well, you
especially
can.
underground.
It's just
You
not
can, but it's hard.
Yes.
We might want to ask our new servant how much he saw, what exactly he saw when he opened the door to see. Well,
He is claiming to be ignorant. Not sure if I
well,
can
that's
believe him.
fair. Although, I would like to know whether or not he noticed the explosions and how fresh they seemed to him.
But apparently the servants were called due to some form of plumbing backup, and then he opened the door and simply noticed the body and ran away.
Hmm. Well, I might ask him a bit more information if that's okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Von V's gonna head out the door and look for and ask for the first one to come here of the serving staff. Well, not into the room, but like.
Yeah, he's going to step into the doorway, looking around and grimacing.
Oh.
He averts his eyes.
I understand that this might be an unpleasant scene for you, as it is for many of us, but you were the first one here to see it, and as such, you have a slight burden on your shoulders, but how fresh did you notice the burn marks when you first came in here, or do they seem a bit new?
He's gonna look up and say, everything was scorched.
And I don't know how well you understand how well you would be able to discern this, but from the smell, could you tell if it was very fresh, like just
It would
Just
smell
me?
rancid if it was.
yes, or did it seem to be did it seem to have happened a good amount longer before you entered the room?
He is going to think for a moment and then shake his head and say, honestly, I didn't take a whiff of anything. The wind rushed into the room when I opened the door, and I closed it and went running.
Understandable. Who was the professor that complained about it? About the plumbing?
He is going to, let's see. I'm gonna roll up a new NPC. There you go. And he's going to say, Professor Nereru. She's just a floor above.
Can I roll up a history check to see if I know her?
Go for it.
25. Because... damn. I'm a skill monkey.
And I don't know her.
Yeah. Yeah, she lives a floor above. She is skilled in transmutation and teaches remedial classes in it.
Okay. And I work here. Would I know some of the other teachers that work in this general, like, I want to say a sphere of rooms nearby? Like, sphere of offices nearby?
The Yapel ward? Generally, no, you would not.
That's my area.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is the research and experiment ward.
Oh, this is the area that I go to whenever I'm practicing magic.
Which,
okay.
You know, it's completely not uncommon for somebody to, silence the area, like, around their office or thing while they, launch spells off into the night.
I mean, yeah, but silence doesn't get rid of tremors caused by explosions.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, that is exactly why I was also stating general areas. So, like, somebody who works below, somebody who might work, like, across or down the hall or something like that. I don't know the exact layout of this place, but that's why I said sphere around this location.
If other party members wanted to question the local teachers, I would love to join, but I would first like to take a few moments with my old friend, just by myself.
That is quite reasonable. I'm pretty sure you would like some last words with him. I'm sure we can either wait or, where would the, instructor be? Not because I rolled high enough. I assume I know her with a 25.
Yeah, Nereru would be just be a floor above.
Alright. Do you know if Nereru is in her office right now, or is she somewhere else in the building?
He is going to roll a history check. He does not know, as he's thinking. The lead doesn't know. Oh, but one of the other staff is going to chime in and say, Madam, Headmaster, or Archarcanist Calgarin, took several of these professors out for a night on the city.
Oh, and where did they state where they were planning on heading, or is this just a way to try and relax from this, from one of their fellow colleagues going dead?
She shakes her head and says, I don't know. I overheard it when I was cleaning his office this morning.
Well, thank you for the information. Well, I would definitely like to know some of the professors in this wing that that was nearby that might felt some of their tremors from the explosions.
You guys could go door to door.
Yeah, we could go to door, but they're not there, is basically what she said.
Well, it took some select. I wouldn't
They're all
say
out of
that
the town.
The entire department is pretty dang big.
Yeah. Well, it'd be worth an attempt. I guess if everybody else is willing to, we can try and knock on the doors of some of the other instructors and see if they...
That's
Sounds
fine,
like
but we
a
should probably
great
meet up.
Passing of time while I take a couple moments with my good old friend.
Yes, I was going to say that. You can stay here as long as you need. Just,
I'll find you.
I'm sure.
We should meet up with contact. Ela left with us.
Yes, I agree.
And Drelos.
Alright.
It won't be long.
I won't invade your privacy. I respect you for that. I'll leave Tapa here in the hallway. When you're done, just let him know and he'll lead you to...
Sounds good.
Alright, so we're going to go see if we can find any like second-degree witnesses, I guess.
Yes.
All right.
All right, let's go.
You guys head to Arcanus Lysandia. I'm assuming that's the contract dealer left for you guys.
Yeah, and we might stop by some of the other
Okay.
offices or laboratories on the way just to see if somebody's there that might, that would be nearby that we might ask a few questions if there is.
Okay. Eric.
Yes.
What is Draelus doing while he's still in here with Minlord's body?
I'm going to do probably 3 things. I think one is see if there is anything salvageable. He was my friend. He is something that had a ton of stuff. If there is anything salvageable, even some of the books still on the shelf, I would like to have a memoir of memoir.
Okay, roll me a history
Pun
check.
intended.
DC 13.
Take a second. Just. My history is horrible.
Yeah.
I'll give you bardic inspiration, I'm sorry.
I'm almost tempted to use my lucky, but I haven't got broken 10 yet.
I won't stop you. I told you what the DC was, but because you knew the DC, I'll still allow you to use the lucky if you want.
I'll use my lucky.
All right, reroll that 3. You can choose to use.
So much better.
You can choose to use the 6 or the 3. I'm kidding with you.
It's a wash there.
So.
I'll use the 6, I guess. Why?
Yeah, as you are like here, you're stopping and you're thinking and you remember that right before you went to Galkin to fight Olivia and you asked Minlor for, supplies, he opened a secret vault someplace that he gave you illegal poisons out of. But you can't remember where it was. Presumably, it might still be somewhere in the room, but you're not certain where.
I would like to continue looking. Is that an investigation or some sort of tap down the wall?
I'm putting it at the very hard scale. You can't remember where it was because he was just like, one sec, and then he walked away from you, and you're like looking over your shoulder as he was digging through stuff.
Well, I'd like to, with just that base knowledge, I'd like to start focusing on where I was not looking in the direction that he was walking. So,
all right.
Should I roll investigate?
Yes, you're on the very hard scale. Go for it. Yeah.
My roll sucked today.
Looking through.
Are you proficient?
Tapping on the stone walls, looking through what remains of the cabinets, moving the scraps of chests, like knocking your foot against the floor. You come up with nothing.
Slightly out of character, but not super out of character. Who in the party is particularly good at investigation?
I have an investigation of 18, but if you want me to roll for it, I'm not that good.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe Siegfried. And I remember because you zig when you zag.
There you go.
I'm going to kind of move along a little bit. 2, I would like to actually bend over Menlor's body and say goodbye. Was my only my only contact as a character, and good coworker, he gave me stuff that could have gotten him expelled from the university just based on my friendship with him. And hopefully it wasn't stuff that he gave me that, or similar stuff he was working on that got him killed. So I want to say sorry and thanks for everything. And then item number 3, while I'm in there, I do want to continue looking around for some memoir, specifically, like if there's any sort of painting or something like that that I can salvage in.
Oh yeah, there would be a painting of him in the halls leading into this ward, as he is a very prominent figure and mind in the community, but not within this room. This room, everything is destroyed that you can see.
Alright, I'm going to a table checking for that little secret area until I can ask each and every one of the party members that they can do a quick check.
Okay. Alright. The rest of the party, as you guys are knocking on doors, you are finding out the out of the people that still remain here, all of them are, smaller, less important researchers who were either like out of their office at the night it happened, or doing something else, or part of a team and a different member of their team was here, and just nobody was around. And then by the time that you get to the people that were here, they were too far away to feel tremors.
Okay.
And moving on to the theology commune, you guys are going to come up to a outside class area, and it is very common in Alonagai to teach in the university rather than classrooms. As for Goblin, Alonagai is on the equator of the world with the way the sun moves across the world. So it is year-round pleasant and year-round very, very nice, always sunshine. And they don't really experience seasons here.
And funny enough, 1V also is a bit out of Noelle with that.
Yeah, so, anyways, waiting for her next class, under a tree, you guys are going to see not that one, she's dead.
Not that one, she's dead.
No, we're seeing ghosts now.
Pulled up the Arcanist Group B killed. Alright.
The one that...
you guys are going to see who... I forgot who Admir recognizes her as Arcanist Lysandia. Walking up to her, she is reading, but she is going to notice the group of you coming, and she's going to stand up, close her tome, and she would bow to you guys, and she'd say, Ilyaria.
Salmar.
You must be the circle that Dila put together?
Seems like it.
She nods and says, "That's a terrible tragedy what happened to Menlor. I did so enjoy our morning our morning debates."
It is always a shame when someone personally dies.
She scratches the back of her neck, and she's gonna say, "So, did you find out who's behind it?"
That's partially why we're here. We were just trying to get as much information as we can before I start using any magical means. As you know, some magics are best used when you already know a lot of the information that you're trying to get more about. Would you
And she's gonna shake her head and say, "I'm sorry. All of my knowledge is, or all of my study is in the knowledge of the wills and not the application of arcane energies."
Fair. We would like to ask you as much as you recall of the incident that you know.
She's gonna look to each member of the party, and she's gonna point to herself and say, "Me? I'm implicated as a suspect? I have no ill will against
Everyone.
Menlor."
You misunderstand. It's more so of we're not accusing you directly. We just want to know what you know of the events. As I said, it helps out to know as much as you can about something that you're researching.
Okay, and so let's give everybody a chance to chime in on this. While this is happening,
Right.
what's Siegfried, Admir, and Matir doing?
Well, you said her class just ended.
Yeah,
Class she just had.
she's waiting for a class. If somebody's out here, normally they're teaching to a class.
Okay,
And
so
there's
he's
no one
just
over
going to look around.
Okay. Just like making a perception of like the crowds moving through the commune.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anybody's trying, like, people are probably going to wonder what these bunch of people are. She's going to look and see.
Okay, Matir and Admir.
Honestly, I'm probably going to be sticking around this woman because I am not entirely trustful of most people, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on her. Because she did say that she knew him personally.
I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts on her.
Oh, damn.
Casting Detect Thoughts on her. Okay. You know, Detect Thoughts.
Admir does not care.
Well, I don't need to be here anymore.
Admir, ever since he turned evil, shouldn't let him kill that lady. It's all Roman's fault.
It's
Second that.
all Roman's fault. Oh, it has a verbal, somatic, and material component. She's going to be aware that you're casting a spell.
Just turn around, cast it, turn it back.
I'll look at her if she starts questioning, and I'll just say, for the reasons of our investigation, we want to sure and clear everyone of any suspicion.
Yeah, and she's going to say, "My thoughts are my own." Alright, you cast Detect Thoughts for the duration of the spell. You can read the surface thoughts when you cast spell. Your action, you can focus your mind on any one creature you can see. Okay. Alright. You read the I'm assuming you're using your action on her.
Mm-hmm.
You read the surface thoughts of her brain, or of her mind. It is you are sensing disgust from her.
Damn.
That's fine.
She is going to say, "I am happy to comply with your investigation, but I did not kill Menlor. I have no reason to bring a dagger to anyone, more or less my friend."
Dagger?
Whoever
Right.
said he was killed by a dagger.
Oh. As far as anyone else knows, he was hit with a fireball.
And also, I'd like to point out, with the exception of one other individual, we were the only ones who ever entered the room.
Yes. So unless you have either committed the crime or investigated the body up close, you would not know that it was a dagger.
With that alone, I have reason to question. We all have reason to question you even further.
She is going to shake her head, and say, I'm misspoken. I don't know anything
I still
about
detect
his
thoughts on her.
Yeah, and you're going to you're gonna detect embarrassment.
It's okay. As I said, we just want to know what you know of what happened to him. As a friend, you would like, as a friend, I'm sure a friend of his, I'm sure you would like to help who's investigating and not leave any details out. Even if
Roll
they
me
seem
a
of minor
persuasion check.
importance. Okay.
Come on.
Persuasion is ironically not.
Admir
Actually, no, it is something I am proficient in. Hold on.
is detecting a swirl of reluctance and fear.
15. It did not roll well on that.
I don't see any roll.
I
you
rolled
it to me.
I rolled it to the GM. I rolled a 15.
Here, before you give him the results, just because I think this could be beneficial this way, I will use Tides of Chaos.
Oh, shit.
What's that?
You get to add a d6 to the roll, I think?
Nope, he rolls it again.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Basically gives you advantage.
okay. Well, I'm going to roll this one in public. Yeah, no, that. Oh my god, thank you.
There we go.
I'm proficient in it. I'm not an expert in persuasion, but thank you.
Damn.
That's much better. That is close to a nat 20 for me.
Mad pop.
She's going to say, look, I am not involved with this whatsoever. I was in Archarchionist Calgaren's office maybe the day or the day before it happened.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned that the work he was doing was to be kept secret, that it could draw unwanted attention. And it's no secret that him and Menlor had a project in the works. And she shrugs and says, but I wasn't a part of their circle.
You said Instructor Calgaren. Archarchionist.
She nods.
What does her thoughts say?
Yeah, does she seem like she's telling the truth?
I mean, you're not going to detect that from her thoughts. She feels fear.
I mean,
you get the
Can I roll an insight check?
You can.
Yeah. I with my passive insight of 22, would I be able to read that?
My insight check was a 14.
Yeah. You guys aren't picking up that she is hiding anything from you, despite feeling like horrifically
Attacked?
intruded on. Yeah, with detect thoughts.
As you know, I have no control over my friends that are helping me on this. I'm just simply asking a few questions and trying to make things as simple for me when I try and use some magic to help me understand this. So, as I stated...
Go ahead, Anthony.
What was the project, the two of them?
She shakes her head and says, I don't know.
With my insight and his detect thoughts, surface thoughts would come to the mind, and are actually words, not just emotions, from what I understand of psychology. And what this body language does she actually state that she doesn't know?
It's still just going to be like surface thoughts. Like you're not going to you're not gonna get like, oh, it was this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah, no.
And again, it's going to be more fear, like in an intense fear. And it, from what you guys can tell, definitely looks like now she's holding back something.
Ma'am, may I remind you, I can try to delve deeper, and I really don't want. If you know something, and it'll help us try to figure out what happened to Menlor, every bit of information will useful.
She is going to start gathering her things, and she's going to say, look, I don't know my involvement in this, but if my research got him killed, how do you think that makes me feel? I published a paper. It's public knowledge as I'm working towards my Peldeath. Archarcanist Calgaren invited me to his office to discuss more nuanced points about it. I was just surprised that someone so high up in the university noticed. But I had nothing to do with Menlor or him getting stabbed, and I'm sorry. But she shakes her head, and she's going to say, this conversation's done. She's going to start walking.
She's starting to walk. I'm going to delve deep.
I'm sorry.
She rolls an intelligence check. What is your...
Is it an intelligence save? I thought it was a wisdom save.
Good old evil Ed.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it is a wisdom save. Okay.
DC 18.
DC 18, she rolls a 19 and has +3. So
Damn. Okay.
she is going to fend off your attempt.
Alright.
I do absolutely hate making people uncomfortable. What must be done, must be done. I'm sorry for how we are reacting, but as I stated, we need as much information as we can. And any information would be useful. She states as she's walking away, not stopping her at all.
She is... I'm going to roll her percentage die. She's going to stop, look back at you guys.
As an ambulance is driving by me.
Yeah. And she's going to flip through her tome, and there are going to be several loose papers. She collects all of them, totaling about 12 pages, and she offers them towards the party, and she's going to say, if it gets you killed, your blood's not on my head.
If it helps us find who killed him, it will be helping redeem if it did get him killed. And as she says this, as she takes the papers and bow to her in like a thankful manner.
Yeah. She leaves saying nothing else.
I think that went well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting conversation.
It was, although this does help. This, I feel, will help me out with the spell I'm going to use later.
What is her paper about?
I'll go ahead and kind of show it, kind of tilt it to the side as I look over it as well.
Her paper is
The one
a
you almost wrote.
Yeah.
I knew it.
a treatise on morality
I think-
involving the practical applications of demon blood.
I think that around this time I would be done with.
Yeah.
and, like,
Also, yeah, you'd be
and I
coming
would
up.
like to join.
Yeah, you're joining the party back. I meant to introduce you earlier.
Yeah, I kind of figured, but it's all good.
Sometimes people cast detect bots and invade the minds of friendly NPCs, and then it throws you off your game.
Yeah,
Hey, that was
Yeah,
no proof
it's
it's
not like-
not friendly.
and there's not like any instances of the DM doing the same thing to the friendly NPC.
No. It was an unfriendly NPC doing it to a player character.
Friendly.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well,
I would like to also look over these notes as the group is also.
yeah. I'm assuming V is the one that's holding them, so she's willingly showing them to the party.
Looking over these notes, you can see this is a copy of her paper with her annotations on it, of just her opinions added in different areas of like what she would have revised or not revised, and mostly as you guys skim this, you guys are going to get a feel. You guys are going to get a feel that, or rather, the basic premise of this paper is discussing whether it's right or wrong to use items crafted of demon's blood, even if you're using the item for a good reason.
While this is all happening, can I look around to see if anyone is a
Watching?
little more intently watching us
Yeah.
instead of just a passing glance?
Yeah. You can roll me a perception check. As far as you,
That's a 20.
yeah, as far as you know, you don't see anybody.
All right.
Do I catch anybody with my passive perception? Because I'm not actively looking.
No, you do not.
Okay.
So, did anyone else find it weird
Stab.
who she said?
This thing. Dagger.
Yeah.
Well, besides that, who did she
Apparently
say
this
that?
Calgarin has already gone into the room and knew how he died.
And he's also the one that took everyone else out on the town.
With the
Is he not?
phrasing circle.
Yes.
Almost like he could have wanted them all out of the way, so no one would know.
Well, a circle of
Didn't he take
people
them out of town
implies some
today?
sort of conspiracy.
Hmm.
Yeah, he took
So
them out
anyone
to-
who,
Yeah.
so anyone who would have been in the area for us to question is
Conveniently not
liquored
there.
up. Exactly.
It's true.
You guys know Headmaster Kypeldon, or Arch Arcanist Kypeldon Calgarin. He was the acting headmaster while Dila Winrona was he was the acting headmaster while Dila Winrona was missing. He is
Oh,
he is
him.
not unfamiliar to anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would know him. Yeah.
It's weird that he was working on him with this particular project right before he died.
Some form of secret project.
She was afraid that this research got him killed. And then the day we go to investigate, everyone's out of town.
Mhm.
Quite convenient for whoever did this. Everybody goodbye.
Brendan, what kind of magic does he study? Or what does he particularly study?
Yeah.
Let me take a look real quick. I know what spells he would specialize in. 5th edition just classifies spells weirdly, so I just want to make sure I put him in the right
subject.
school. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's conjuration though. Let's see. Yep, conjuration.
I'm currently studying conjuration. So,
You people on your magic fixations. All I did is my sword.
well, it's hard when you're not built more hearthy. But what must be done must be done. And to be able to defend yourself. But that's a matter of another discussion. And that's why did I say that out of character? Okay. Well, if we want, I could legend lore what we have now, or we can go out into the city and try and see if we can find Calgarin or his group. See if
And we weren't exactly told where they went. It's a rather large city.
I can
Do
cover
you
the
want to
area.
know?
I can cover the area quite quickly.
And I can save you the trouble in about 2 seconds.
Oh, here comes the mirror.
Yeah, Edmure kind of looks around and goes, "Follow me."
Before we look for the professors, the various professors, I would like to actually the Menlar's lab should be private. I'd like for us to go there.
That's fine. That's a perfect.
Well, lead the way then. I mean, quite intrigued if you found a new artifact.
I take it we're now there, fast.
Yeah. As you guys go in,
Alright.
the cleaning crew is going to be in here scrubbing the walls.
Excuse us. Can we have a few moments?
They're all going to nod and walk out. The half-orc is going to stop Vanvi, and he's going to say, Professor Vanvi, I'm going for my Daliite's attribution. I was wondering if you could write me a recommendation, with my cooperation and everything. I've got some practical understanding of he points his scorch marks and basic level.
Wow, this is amazing timing.
Yeah, that is amazing timing. Out of character. He's asking for recommendation.
he's just asking you to as an upper level mage, say, "Oh, this guy knows about magic," and that would qualify him to take the Daliite's test.
Oh, wow.
He's asking for a reference to get into college.
Yeah.
No.
You can just brush him off of just like Vanvi gives her normal response, because this would not be uncommon for students around the university.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, can you say I'm good at magic? Well, you actually have to show me you're good at magic.
Yeah, no, it's like, her response would be, well, if you're willing to take the time and actually prove to me, then, and actually give me some physical proof, I'd be more than willing to give you the recommendation, given that you pass giving me proof.
He's gonna say,
More so than just identify them all.
Working with the stewards of the university, it's just hard to find the time to study, and like the basic level cantrips and low level spells. I mean, it's so minor that I can learn them while I'm learning the more advanced stuff too.
Do you know what spell was used in this room?
Vanvi's gonna gesture to him and say, do you?
He looks around and says, "Fireball." Yes, fireball.
Fireball?
Bolt. Ash got in my lung.
Out.
He walks out with the rest of the serving staff. All right. So you guys have the room to yourself.
Alright,
I hope Mila knows better
I
than
would,
that.
I pull out the mirror.
And Bone V definitely
Hey,
knows
full-
better than that. It's just.
I was like, he was
probably
talking about.
giggling to herself.
I was like, wondering, like, I hope my niece is better than do that.
what I share with you now is in confidence. The,
Okay, real quick,
Last time I
Eric,
was in the-
before you share that, from Drelos's perspective, Admir pulled out a mirror. Anybody with over 14 perception is going to take notice of this thing. It is pale white with red and golden veins going through it. The mirror itself is shattered, although none of the glass panes on the surface of the mirror seem to move at all, as if like they were loose or anything. There are several different gleaming reflections of Admir and everybody else within the mirror's frame from different angles from the shattered pieces. This thing looks striking.
Do I notice anything extra from my passive perception, or is that it?
yeah, you'll learn enough about it.
Oh, you will.
Yeah, you don't see anything else extra. I had to think about everybody in the room.
Yeah, no, I had to ask because, yeah, but what is this thing, if I may ask?
How many of you here have heard of the phrase Earthfire weapon?
I would assume I would.
No idea.
Okay, so as a
I
player,
have a very good idea, considering I am from one.
as a player, I do, but I don't know if my character does. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll history.
Go for it. I'm gonna set it at 13.
I would assume my character
I'll just do
does,
history.
considering she's from one.
Yep, I do.
Why the hell did it roll twice?
Yeah,
I don't know,
but
but
the first one for Siegfried and for Matir. Matir, you are going to both you and Siegfried are going to know Earthfire weapons are items crafted from these powerful. An Earthfire is like this religious site of magic. It's like this huge well of energy.
That's where our companion came from.
Yeah, and when you forge an item inside of it, it like the fires of an Earthfire are kind of like extraplanar, and items forged in Earthfires don't exactly obey the laws of physics and like reality. They're really weird. Some of them are really cursed, some of them are really powerful. But yeah. Throughout history, there have been powerful Earthfire relics, and there have been very bad ones.
Wow, so you got your hands on one? Love to hear the
Yes.
story behind that.
I would love to hear the tale.
Put it simply, Drelos would be better asking that one. I got it from the person who had it before, who was a friend of his.
Long story
This-
short, this is a magic mirror, and a certain number of charges per day, we're able to look in on a particular person that we know.
This item allows me to cast Scry a certain number of times a day, and it cannot be blocked.
It is a super powerful mirror.
That is quite useful.
It has a couple other trinkets up its sleeve, but
And
one
side
more.
effects,
yes, I wouldn't recommend touching it. It still bothers me.
What happens if you touch it? If
Don't
I-
ask.
If you want to find out, you're more than welcome to, but I can only describe it as the worst morning sickness you've probably would ever have had in your life.
Well, considering I'm from the same location I was created from, I know on how unpredictable they can be. So,
So I will use this and scry on, see where he is, and go from there.
All right.
Perfect.
What do you say as you cast scrying?
God. I already forgot it. Calgaran. Calor?
Calgaren.
Pelding. Okay.
There are two Calgaren children, undead, running around that Group C released. So I was just curious if you used the right name. It just, Calgaren. It's like, well, you're going to get one of the three. Okay. He is going to roll against the mirror. He rolls a 5 and fails. The surface of the mirror is going to fog over, and then the mirror is going to look like it is. The surface is going to look like it's traveling through this fog as it slowly clears. You are going to see the scene of. You're going to see the scene of a bustling serving staff moving in and out of this doorway. And next to it, you're going to see Kypeldon Calgaren. You're going to see Kypeldon Calgaren talking to a... You're going to see Kypeldon Calgaren talking to another person. And this person is a male who has some elven features about him. And he is going to say, and look, that's why I need you to work on this with me. This project could change everything about Ilderon and where we're at in the world. We could be heroes with our names as large as Wetchard or Belson, echoed through history for ages. You would be the person who saved the Wills. You would be the person who saved Ilderon. You would be the person who saved the world. Join me on this. Come on. The man is going to shake his head and say, I mean, I was never a big fan of Sarai, but she knows what she's doing. We've got to respect the Sky Queen on this one. And Kypeldon is going to nod and say, and if her decision leads to the destruction of Ilderon, are you comfortable with all those lives on your shoulders? He's gonna say, Calgaren, do you think we can do this? I'm nowhere near as smart as Menlor. He's gonna say, Menlord had it just about figured out. All you have to do is finish it. He's gonna nod and say, all right, I'm grateful for the opportunity. We should get back to the dinner, though. Arcanus Calgaren's going to smile, placing his hand on the man's shoulder and nodding. They walk through the doorway. The censor follows them. They are in a upper room of some sort of tower. There is the serving staff is bringing in food as a feast. It is overlooking the sea to the the east. Oh no, you can't see that far because the sensor only has 10 feet around it. You see a stone table. And you see about a dozen people gathered around this stone table. Everybody is eating, and for the rest of the 10 minutes of the scrying, mundane conversation of just like, you are not going to believe what one of my research assistants said. Like, he tried to mix, yarrow with this one root, and the whole mixture was rendered neutral or base neutral. Like, it did nothing. Research assistants, they're the dumbest, right? They all laugh.
Do we recognize the pub or restaurant?
Oh, roll me a history check.
Okay. Normal history check. Wow, I
sticking
rolled
to my
low on
plan.
that one.
Hey.
Okay,
Nah, I don't know
Matir
shit.
is killing these history checks.
You are, damn.
But it's hilarious because all of my other rolls haven't been very good. Like I did okay on perception and history. Everything else has not been great.
Like,
I have not been rolling well either.
you're looking at this place, and the sensor only has 10 feet of vision, so you can't see outside of it. But like,
I know that stone table. That's my stone table right there.
as you like look up to the ceiling, move around the sensor a little bit, and Von V moving the sensor, or not Von V, Admir moving the sensor. You're gonna be like, wait, I looked up at this place. That's like, I could probably pinpoint that building inside of Honor Walk, and that's
Alright.
that's going to place it somewhere in this region of the city. I was just like, I was over in Honor's Reach the other day, like killing a dude for a bounty, and it's like, I'm pretty sure I saw that building.
Brandon, do I recognize who the half-elf man he was talking to is?
No, because he's lived in the shadow of Minlor for his entire life. I just rolled your percentage die, and it came up as 100%.
Oh my god!
I know his birthday. I know his parents.
I know who he slept with.
His
I
name
would offer
is,
to roll, but I'm pretty sure I'd get a 1.
his name is Adril. He was a student under Minlor. He got his Arcanist's attribution and then left the university to become a merchant. You haven't seen him in a while. It's kind of strange that he's even there.
What was his name?
Adril. A-D apostrophe R-I-L.
Andrew. Why is he back? Thought he left to go become a. Dralos, you were friends with Menlor. You remember him talking about a student of his named Adril? Got his Arcanist degree?
Well, if I roll better than I have, we might have 1/10 of a chance. But, let's see. Holy cow! Only better
And
than
you know what? I'm gonna, just because you did so well, I'm gonna use Bend Luck. So I will use 2 sorcery points, you can add a d4.
I was gonna say add bardic inspiration, but
19.
Ben looks better.
Yeah, you're gonna remember this guy. Like, it was long before you came around, though. Like, Minlor is griped on Adril. He let his morality get in the way of researching and the advancement of knowledge. Like, a lot of Minlor's stuff did get, has gotten a lot of people killed. But, for Minlor, it's always been for, the pursuit of knowledge. And
Don't mind that roll, sorry.
yeah. And he would have complained about the student once or twice, like, bright mind, but he was, too concerned about doing the right thing.
I can relate to that. That's probably the only reason why I remember him.
Yeah.
Huh.
Hey, gang. I would like to share something in conference with you. The last time I was in this room, Menlar went to a secret compartment, and I cannot remember for the life of me where it is, but it does contain its illicit materials. Will you help me look for it?
Yeah, sure.
Some material.
What kind of materials are we looking for?
This would be a vault that could have almost anything in it.
Do you know the direction which it's in, or area?
Brandon, do I? Because I bombed last time.
Yeah,
I only knew which
can-
which direction I wasn't facing.
You can lead them over to where the cabinets used to be. There's still some rubble of the cabinets there. Oh, go ahead.
Dreelus, you said that it was a secret compartment?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I pull out my wand of secrets.
Damn, that's convenient.
Actually, while we're doing this, I'm going to just casually cast this in the area.
All right. I remember giving you the Wand of Secrets, but I don't 100% remember its features, so I'm looking it up real quick. Wand of Secrets. It has 3 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to spin one of if a secret door or trap is hidden within 30 feet of you. The wand pulses and points at the one nearest to you. The wand regains. So moving to these cabinets, you are going to walk over to it, and it's actually the marble. It's actually the marble countertop. That it is scorched, but it points down at the marble countertop underneath one of these cabinets where Drelos pointed out.
Right then.
While they're doing this, by the way, I cast as a ritual.
Say it again.
I cast a spell I posted in chat as a ritual.
Okay, it's going to take 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Who wants to try and find/crack this roll?
I have a lot of dexterity. I think
Well,
that I would.
And I'm right now focusing on a spell.
Well, Drelos, it should be over here.
I have particularly good hands. What would be? Is it a dexterity check, or what would be the appropriate roll?
Yeah. Feeling around the marble, knocking on it, you're gonna find like a hollow spot on it, and just from what you can feel, it feels like a whole 2 feet of this marble slides and has some sort of interior hinge on it.
You should be careful. If he's as clever as to hide something like this, he might have had a booby trapped.
That's
You need
why
me to
I'm
break it?
That's why I'm preparing something. Right now I'm detecting if there's magic going on.
Maybe we
If
should
you-
wait for that detect magic.
If you push it a little bit, you feel the marble slides back into the wall. There is enough of a opening that you could slip a thieves' tool or lockpick or a piece of wiry metal between the hinge and try and unlatch whatever it's keeping it hooked in.
How long until the detect magic is?
You guys can
Able
just wait
to-
the 10 minutes. The 10 minutes for the detect magic, you are not going to detect any magic.
It's surprising
Alright,
you're not booby
I
trapped
have-
with magic.
It doesn't.
I have my thieves' tool and will try and detect
Exactly
this.
why I said that.
Okay. Roll me a thieves' tool check.
Can I give him a hand since I was,
Are you
pointing it out?
proficient in thieves' tools?
No.
Yeah.
I was going to. Can I give him a bardic inspiration?
Yes, you can. You do have to indicate that before the roll. I will allow it though, since I haven't told you guys any of the difficulty or.
Yeah, I was. That's why I was trying to ask that before he rolled.
I'm pretty confident in my 18. I don't know if you guys really need
You can never. It doesn't hurt to get bardic inspiration because you get a plus.
Well, it never hurts to get it, but it's on you to choose if you want to use it. Do you want
I
to use
will-
it before I tell you the result?
Yeah.
Real
I wanna
quick.
use it.
No, I'm talking to Eric. What's up, Anthony?
Eric, what level rogue are you?
I am 12 and rogue.
Okay, so that should actually be a 20, huh?
Well, sorry, I gave you bardic inspiration, so you can use it now if you want.
No, I'm just saying his reliable, or his Yeah, his reliable talent should kick in. Or not reliable talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rogue thingy at 11.
I think that is reliable talent.
Is it? Yeah, I thought it was too, but I thought I was wrong. So if he rolled an 8, it would make it automatically a 10.
Okay. Do you want to use the bardic inspiration?
20 is fine. I don't need to use it.
Okay.
I'd rather you save it for later.
You're going to. It lasts for a minute. You are going to feel a. You're going to feel a latch on this thing, and just kind of maneuver on and unlock this. As you move it aside, you feel something lock in place, and then you move 1, 2, 3 tumblers, and then you're going to be able to slide this countertop open. Digging down into here, you can see a small jewelry chest. Inside the chest, it's probably about 1.5 feet big. Picking it up and opening it, there are 3 vials in here, a scroll, and a strange metallic or a strange glass sphere with metallic bands on it. Inside of the sphere is a slow-moving sludge.
After we inspect it, I will be holding on to this.
Oh, and there is a note next to the sphere.
What does the note read?
All right, Eric, don't insult me, okay? Don't insult me. It is a musical note, and I'm just gonna rule Ilderon, the language of which musicians write in Ilderon is different from the real world because reasons.
Would I know it?
And it is a sustained. It is a musical note at a. Well, yeah, I don't know if Dralos would know music, but it is a musical note, and it's a sustained for a certain duration of counts.
Yeah, if Von V can see that, she would actually be able to read it.
I freely let her look.
Alright. Well, this is a music sheet. What would I understand with actually knowing music?
Yeah, it's...
Okay.
So, in terms of keys, pitches, octaves, or whatever, on any normal scale, this would be at the top of it. There's a little bit of math at the top of this, indicating that this is higher. You can roll me an investigation check to try and understand that, but
my passive I can't make it with my passive investigation of 18.
No.
Of 18. Okay. Alright. I'll try and make an investigation check. So, well, no, I rolled lower than my passive.
I mean, it's a musical note, but this isn't a musical note for any known instrument. Or at least anyone you're aware of.
Yeah.
Or at least, if anything, if it is for an instrument, nothing can play it.
No instrument can play that high because that's too high of an octave for any instrument to be able to play without the reed breaking, the strings breaking, or almost anything. It's basically encoded. I'm pretty sure this is an encoded script or something. Do you know, you knew him well, I assume. Did he play any instruments, or seem interested in any instruments?
That seems like a check, but science and music are often together.
I mean, yeah, from what you don't have to roll anything. From what you know, Menlor was not very musical, but music and art are a huge part of Alonagian culture. You guys were exposed to it often, but it wasn't something he was passionate about.
Yeah, no, the person that's passionate about it is right in front of you.
I happen to have gone to school for music, so that's
Yeah,
why Brandon was like, "Dude, don't kill me."
Yeah.
How
no,
to
I
describe
was-
music note to musician.
Where's
yeah,
the scroll?
The scroll, you are a sorcerer or warlock?
Yep.
Okay, let me check your spell list if you recognize it.
But I recognize it considering I'm a bard. I think I should.
Bards
recognize
actually can't do magic at all. I'm kidding. Let's.
I was just assumed that if it's written in musical notes, I would understand it if it's a spell scroll. Considering I'm a bard.
It'd be hilarious. This rule's just a fucking tune that you play.
Huh. Okay. That's cool. And let me check bards. Okay. Admir doesn't recognize it. Dralos doesn't recognize it. But Vonvi is going to recognize it as a scroll of magic mouth.
No wonder.
Oh.
It's not for an instrument. And it's just to cast magic mouth, is what she'll say to the group.
The scroll is for magic mouth. The note is a
the
separate thing.
Oh, the note. Sorry, the scroll. That's a scroll of magic mouth. Can I tell what level it's in? Or is that just
Yeah,
a
it's
cantrip?
a second level spell scroll.
Okay, it's in second level.
I wonder why he had it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
I've taught several students on how to do that. Gave some of the newer ones, newer bards at this college, an assignment recently about practicing that.
But hiding it in a secret hatch in a counter?
I agree. It's
Seems
quite
to
odd.
be more
It's-
important. Maybe Dila might be the best person to ask.
From
He
what
said this
we,
is a.
from what
Oh,
we
sorry.
know,
Go ahead.
the Calgaran headmaster, former headmaster, whatever he is now,
Yes.
was working on a project. Minlor was probably involved. Could this be related to that project? He kept it well hidden.
He did.
Well, it's definitely
And he
worth
leaves
looking
this
into.
apparently overcomplicated riddle that is music?
I mean, I know music well, but there's no way you can play that song. Because that octave is so high, as I said, it would break the instrument.
Could it be sung?
Looking over it, do I notice that it can be sung? Unless you got a really high voice.
Probably with
Yeah.
magic mouth. I mean, magic mouth can create, any type of audible sound that you can imagine.
Funny enough,
If-
magic.
If it could be sung only by a very, very, very talented singer.
Yeah. Well, I'd explain that to them, kind of like, with the aid of magic mouth, probably, but otherwise, unless you're a really high soprano to the point where, well,
And
you just talking would end up breaking all the glass in the room.
right. So since
I
he
want to know
included
why
a
he would-
spell of magic mouth, the only thing that could possibly reach the octave of this message. You think
we
it's
should
related?
try it?
Probably.
Maybe
We
it
should try it.
They were
well-
close together.
is this a good location to do that?
I could try and cast it and sing it, but I don't personally know the spell with the hand, but I would end up consuming the scroll if I did.
Right. That means we have one chance.
Yes, unless we get more scrolls. But
I
Well,
just want
another
to
person who can.
remind everyone that Dila is forever years old and is super knowledgeable about everything. We should probably include her in this before we destroy something that could be a clip.
Right.
That's a good
So-
point.
So we
That is
just
a good
leave the
point.
headmistress?
Although, if we are going to head there, we could get some easily. I can easily get some more clues. Is my office nearby? Like from where we are to where Dila is? Would we pass by my room?
So you guys are in the Yapel ward. Dila is in the Windar ward and the center of the college. You guys have been walking around it. There's a large tower attached to the city wall.
Okay.
The top of that tower, the Heroes Tower, is where her office is.
Okay. And where's my office?
Let's see. I'm going to say your office would be in Ironstar Court, in the Northern Commons.
How far away
you
is that
would-
from us?
You would not pass by her. It's not far from you, but you wouldn't pass by her tower on the way to your office. Her tower is southeast of you. Your office is northwest of you.
Okay. Well, I do have the materials for legend lore, and we can get some more information that way. I was a bit hesitant to use it until we got more information, as it gets a bit finicky if you don't know anything about what you're trying to look for.
I think we have two major directions that we could go, and I want to post them out there. One,
Yeah.
we could follow the lead that we got from Menlar's little secret stash, or we can go after the former headmaster and not necessarily confront, but question, especially while they are on liquid courage.
Yeah. Well, I do have the incense. I just don't have a good thing to burn it in. If you and the ivory on me to cast legend lore to give us a bit more of a better compass. If you're willing to take some time to do that.
I'm sure there's a bowl or something around.
Yeah, is there anything I can use to actually burn the incense?
You would have like a small motor or pestle, on your person if you have like things that require it.
Yeah. Alright, well, I can try. Just haven't done it more portably. I'm used to the one that's in my office, but here we
Are
go.
we going to do it in here with the dead body?
Well, unless you had another location that you had in mind?
My office isn't
No,
far
I
from
just
here.
figured I would ask. The cleaning crew is waiting for it.
My office isn't that far away as well. We would
Mine's
just have
literally
to-
in the building.
Well, let's go ahead and head to your office then.
Alright.
Drelos, see that orb.
What's that?
The orb that was in the box.
I'm going to take everything that was in the
Box.
Okay.
box. It goes into my bag of holding.
Okay. Add
Do you mind if I...
3 Minlore vials, and are you going to give the orb to Admir, or are you going to put it in your bag of holding?
Bag of holding.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that you're also putting the musical note sheet and the magic mouse scroll in your bag of holding as well?
Who is about to cast it? Vanvi?
Vanvi?
Yeah, well, Vonvi is the only one here who actually can cast it.
Yeah, Vanvi can hold on to the scroll. And I'm totally cool with that in the musical.
And Admir asks for to see the orb.
You may see the orb.
Thank you, Drelos. I can't identify, unfortunately, but I can try to discern if there's some kind of magic to it. I'm gonna try casting Detect Magic myself. See if this thing is emitting any magic on it.
It is not. There is a slow-moving sludge inside of it.
Do I recognize that as Death Candle?
Looking at it closely, yeah. That's probably Death Candle sludge. If you shake it and it turns to gas, it would probably... that'd probably be the telltale sign.
I don't know if shaking...
Was he making a grenade?
Was he? Well, good question.
Just think about it. It's if it is the explosive gel, and it's inside of a glass ball, it would make sense.
Is he equivalent of a grenade?
He's making weapons.
If I recall, death candles or death sludge.
Death Candle sludge?
That's made from demon blood, isn't it?
No, it is not.
Okay, I thought it was as well, like the black candles.
Black candles are made from demon's blood.
Yeah, I thought they were, for some reason, I thought they were made by parts too. Okay. Never mind.
The question is, do we want to take this strange orb with the unknown substance inside, or possibly unknown, and shake it?
No.
For
Exactly.
science!
Wait,
Congrats, everybody. Group B is all dead. We have to reroll characters.
wait, hold on a second. Drelos.
Yeah.
You're absolutely certain this is death sludge?
I can compare it to what I have with me. I still have vials. We can take a physical look at it.
Okay. What? This room blew up.
Yes.
Oh, we might have just figured out what were the accelerant in the explosive compound.
He wasn't just leaving it out and about, though. That's a point
He could have been leaving the components out and about, though, while he was making them.
valid.
And it's very possible that he has more than one storage area.
I mean, apparently there are some bookshelves in here we could check out.
Well, it wouldn't hurt for us to look around as much as we can. Yeah, and
Might as
discover it
well.
ourselves before one of the cleaning staff does and causes another explosion.
Yes, and shakes the ball.
Or worse. Shatters it.
Lights a cigarette right after. Oh
Wait,
man,
there's
so bad.
there's metal on these balls, right? There's like metal clasps or something?
Yeah, there's metal bands around it. There's only one orb.
Okay. Okay. Just making sure that there's no kind of like ignition or anything on it that's...
Turning it over, you don't see a wick.
Alright.
Drelos, put this in your bag and try not to drop it.
It's done. I'd rather not blow
Does
up. while walking
Drelos
around here.
compare it to the Death Candle sludge?
Yes, I will.
The Death Candle sludge is, the Death Candle sludge is, more of a acidic Icarus green. This stuff is more of a teal. It's got more blue in it. It's still green, but it's like greenish blue.
Almost like a cyan? Oh, no. I got my colors mixed
Yeah.
up for a moment. Sorry.
Pretty,
artist,
pretty
not
sure
natural
if you
artist.
Google search teal, that was the color I was thinking of. But yeah, it looks like this either isn't Death Candle sludge or it's been altered.
Huh.
It looks similar, but
Okay, guys, if you want, I will take it in the room by myself and give it a shake if you guys want to experiment with it.
half-orc science experiment.
I do feel like I'm slightly more healthy than you guys, in case something happens.
If you have the fortitude, then I will give you my blessing.
It's if we want to test it.
I'll stay in here with you because I can get us out of here if things go bad.
Actually, I might be able to figure it out without too much trouble experimentation.
Shake it.
How?
Shake it.
I can't let shake it.
You what?
Brandon's on the edge of his seat.
I can
waiting to
identify.
blow up part of Illumina. Like the entire,
Would identify work on this?
Hey,
It's worth a try.
I'm actually going to invoke a GM power. I very seldom ever invoke. Roll me a wisdom save for Matir against your flaw. DC 15. What is the first part of funeral spelled with?
Oh no.
I mean, as these scholars are sitting here and talking about it, you start shaking it. As you shake the orb in your hand, it's just like everybody's like, debating like, oh, I can do this. And so you just like look around, like bring it close to your chest and
Like a magic 8-ball, I just start going nuts.
yeah.
Do I see him do that?
Well, everybody's gonna see him do this, like as you guys like.
I'm gonna-
Oh, I'm not being
I'm gonna-
quiet. I'm going, no.
I'm gonna duck for cover.
As you
Where's Rob when we need him?
as you shake it, you are going to see the liquid inside of this like slowly start to bubble, or rather quickly start to bubble, pop, and then it's all inside of the orb. It is all gas.
Figured it out.
And yeah, you see this just bluish gas fill this orb almost completely.
Can I still cast Identify on that?
You can.
I am now holding Dimension Door. If that thing starts to crack,
Yeah,
even
same.
the slightest bit, I'm
same.
hoping.
No, it's fine.
Well,
It's fine.
I'm going to identify it. I'm gonna cast Identify. I'm gonna take the minute and ritual cast it.
Okay. It's 10 minutes, and you
10
are
minutes?
yeah. If you
Okay.
ritual cast it, if its casting time is less than 10 minutes, it becomes 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So as you cast Identify on this thing, you are going to go through the experiences of this being made. You are going to see Menlord distilling stuff, filling it into this calendar. The gas version of this being slowly, almost drop by drop, taken into. I forgot the name of a syringe that doesn't have a needle on it. And just and placed inside of this sphere, and then the metal bands going on around it, sealing it, in the area that he was inserting it.
I think you're talking about like an intravenous sort of like dropper.
Yeah, and otherwise you're not going to notice anything else particularly strange about this process. It is not magical.
Okay, it is not magical, so... Well...
Into the bag of holding it goes.
Could I... I'm actually going to waste a spell slot here, and because I don't want to waste too much time and basically spend 30 minutes casting things on ritual. Do you mind if I take a look at that, what would you call it? Black Death Candle Sludge or whatever?
I guess I'd be okay with it.
Just, I want to kind of watch that and see if it was made through a similar process, or if you used a different material there.
Go
Just
for
to
it.
see on how much of a difference it is. She'll take it, and I'll waste the spell slot this time, so it'll only take 1 minute this time.
Yeah, casting Identify on this thing, same thing. You see the process of him brewing this. And although the process is significantly quicker, and he's not as delicate about this, as he has perfected that recipe.
So he... So, and I'll explain this. It seems the orb seems a bit more practiced and slow, while this one's a bit more, he's done this 1,000 times. Do I notice any of the materials that he used in the area when I used identify? Were any of them different?
It was hazy flashes of information.
Okay. Okay. That's all I wanted to know, if the material composition of it is different.
Presumably yes, from what you guys can already see by its coloration and
yeah, but I mean, like, how much of it is different? So this one, the teal one, he definitely took a lot more time on. He must have been just starting to experiment with this.
Well, that's dangerous.
Yes, and
Things just got more interesting.
oh wait, but that does give me an idea. Vonvi's gonna look at a book and cast Identify on one of the burnt books to see if she can see what happened to the book.
The book, you are going to get flashes of insight into the life of the book. It's where it's traveled, and in the office, it's sitting on the shelf, and a wave of fire is sweeping over it.
A wave of fire.
Yes.
Not like an object being thrown
like
at
a blast, like a blast of fire.
Okay.
It's very quick, and then it's in your hand.
All right. Well. Oh, it might have been a different kind of. It's definitely not from the fireball, considering that wave. So whatever exploded here was more of a tidal wave of fire than a normal orb being launched. Small bit of information, but could prove useful. Alright, well, I don't want to waste our time much here longer. Sorry it took so long. I'm a bit reluctant on using more quickly using spells.
I mean, I had my fun. So let's go.
Alright.
I'd say let's go out to the bar.
To the bar?
Oh, I was going to say to your office so I can cast, so I can do legend lore to see if we can get a better compass of where we need to go and what we need to look for.
Well, you guys have a direction. You did scry on Kai Peldon.
Oh, that's true.
I did identify where he was.
Okay.
I would say before we leave that we should maybe play it coy, and when we do arrive at the bar, that we maybe try and strike up conversation as fellow patrons as opposed to an inquisition.
I would agree on that. Although,
Alright.
I mean, I could also cast Zone of Truth on them. We are running an investigation.
And
That is
I
true.
can just be stealthy and not be seen by them at all.
You are going to walk up to essentially what equates to a vice president and just be like, "Yo, I ain't got no formal documentation or nothing, but you better submit to this Zone of Truth or I'll hit you real good."
Technically, we have formal documentation
We do have
from Vila saying that we have full authority to do as we see fit.
Yeah, she's told you guys to be her justice if the situation calls for it.
Exactly. Watch this
So-
straight from the bottom of the barrel there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like.
I'm playing a lawful good character. She is heavily questioning the morality of everybody here right now.
All right.
Oh, I'm awful evil. You don't need to question.
Yeah, no, it's like, looking at you, it's like, you
All right.
I'm not gonna get along.
I'm gonna look at Draylos real quick.
Alright.
Do you feel it would be more prevalent to let Taryn take control of this part of the investigation? To not piss off anyone
I think
else?
so. I think Taryn is a unfamiliar face or a less familiar face, and as a more direct to the punch personality.
Who's gonna hit Abmir for 15 points of bludgeoning damage?
I can I can do it on myself, can't I?
Yeah, yeah, you can. I just have it written on your card that 15 points changes your personality.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, but I can change and flip between the two of them on my own.
You can just hit your head against the wall really hard.
I'm gonna question him when he does it. Like, what?
So,
I'm gonna roll
as for anyone else,
myself, if I actually know about your multiple personality disorder, because I know you, but I don't know how well I know you.
probably not, because this would have been only something discussed with Dila and the rest of the former party.
Yeah.
So you're gonna put? Yeah, I'm just gonna roll just in case, you know.
It's
Yeah, no,
not,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not an information bomb he has access to. All right. So you swap minds with Taryn.
And I don't have the hat anymore, so I have to actually use a spell. Or disguise self as an actual
Who has
spell.
the hat?
I had to get rid of it so I could get a new item.
Ah, sad day.
I still have it. Yeah.
All right.
Unfortunately, attunement slots are a bitch nowadays.
Yeah, you swap minds with Taryn and cast disguise self on yourself. The true player of or the true character of Admir has come through.
Alright, so you guys see Admir just close his eyes for a second. And when he opens them again, he casts a spell. Only the somatic components sound a lot different than his normal voice. And changes into a female form, looking up at the rest of you.
I'm gonna cast an Arcana check. Would it be an Arcana or a Medicine check to understand what's going on here?
You can use your reaction as an Arcana check to identify the spell being cast. You're trying to hit 10 plus the spell's level.
Okay. 15.
You recognize disguise self being cast. Admir has disguised himself as somebody else.
And this woman just looks up at the rest of you and goes, "Hi, I'm Taryn. Yeah, Admir has split personality disorder is what they call it. Whole thing dealing with messing around with magics and stuff. It's
Okay. I understand that.
I don't know how to process.
not a lot of people do at first.
This is odd.
Honestly, this is not the weirdest thing I've seen done with magic, so
You get used to it.
I'm sure. It's just I'm surprised about it, but well, good to note. Are there any other personalities that we should be note about before we continue?
Yes, please.
Not as of right now, but well, magic is weird.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I'm a touch psychotic, so I don't know if you need to know about that.
Also paranoid.
Well,
Alright.
Don't dare bring up her, who shall not be named.
Oh, you mean Olivia?
Ah!
By the way, Dreylos, it's good to see you again. It's been a while.
It's been like 3 days. I've missed you.
well, it's good to note. And honestly, I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Not much into your research, but with what little I've known of you, I'm not fully surprised. I'm just I don't know what I was expecting.
Well, he is an arcanist in wild magic for a reason.
That is true. That is true.
All right.
Don't get those positions out of the will.
Heading to the place that Matir pointed out. In Honor's Reach, you guys are going to be able to track it from the region of town he was in, and then him pointing up, and it's like that one. You can see a small tower of a building that just has a that looks through the cracks and crevices and just barely ekes out a view of the eastern ocean. And you guys can see just from down here the torches and the lights and all the entertainment and people up there in the upper room of this tower. As the tower is basically an open affair of pillars supporting the roof and a small area for just stargazing, and then oh my gosh, I forgot the word for the type of roof I was thinking of. Anyways, yeah, and heading into the base of this tower-like restaurant, inside the bottom floor is where all of the commoners are going to be, of course, eating. There is serving staff moving all throughout here. It is filled almost shoulder to shoulder with crowds of people. There are bards along the walls of this place on elevated platforms, each one playing an instrument and singing to what seems to be a different song.
A lively place.
And with my reliable, my reliable talents, I am going to be sneaky McSneaky, and I would like to not be noticed by anyone.
Well, okay, it's like when we say reliable talent, because I saw that nat 1.
Yeah, no, reliable. Yeah, no, reliable
25.
talent. Yeah. You can't roll a nat 1.
For anything he's
In that
proficient
case,
with.
I will use luck and not get a nat 1.
No, you
fine.
don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
no,
counts as, if you roll 1 through 9, it counts as a 10. So, that's going to be a 25. Heading into this crowd, you guys are going to see Draelos just kind of like tilt his head down and start moving, between each group of people. Presumably, you guys need to get from here to the top.
Well, I can easily get up there multiple ways.
Well, the easiest way would be to just have someone take us up there claiming that we're part of the party.
That is true.
You are a teacher at the university.
That is true as well. I was going to offer that to Draelos before he, considering I can still see him.
But would that work for all of us? Not
how
all
many
of us are professional looking.
That is true.
You're our guest.
It's called
I can-
lying, Siegfried.
And
Yeah, Terran's gonna walk up to Siegfried and grab his arm. You're my date now. Ready to leave.
Ah, that's one. I guess that'll work.
Alright.
Well then, I will wait here, I guess.
Ah, but you have your date too. Looks at Von B.
Yeah.
I immediately link arms.
Oh boy.
All right, do you guys
Just
wave
don't
down
be close to me if I get mad. You won't like that.
Do you
This
guys
is
wave
your
down a
only
servant? Or one of the serving staff? Alright, they are going to walk over and look at you and say, it's 5 of you. We can seat you on the 3rd floor if you'd like. There's
Wait, 5.
Oh yeah, she doesn't see Draelos. Never mind. 4 of you.
Yeah, no, the only one who sees Draelos is Von B. I assume.
Can Bombi really see me, though?
Yeah, no, she can. You didn't beat her passive perception.
Yeah, and she's gonna say, the 4 of you. I can have you a table. Our kitchen staff, though, is currently attending to a party in the upper room.
Actually, that's what we're here for. We were guests invited. We just were running a little late with our classes today.
Of Archarchoness Calgarin, of course.
Mhm.
And she is going to lead you guys, not through the servants' quarters, but she's going to take you to a private stairwell. Actually, yeah, this one would be on the outside of this tower. Is like you guys climb up it, because Ilderon Tales is a very open affair in most of its buildings, leading you up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flights of stairs, and she's going to stop and say, "Would you like to rest before we climb the final 2?"
How are you pansies doing?
I have a good
You're good to keep
endurance.
going.
I have a good endurance, don't worry.
And
It's not
7,
like I'm wearing
8.
high heels.
This whole floor atop here is overlooking Honor's Reach, and then between the buildings of Honor's Walk, you can see the other researchers and professors sitting around the stone table. Most of the meal has been consumed as the sun is setting. Desserts are slowly being brought out. Let's see. A couple of people. Is anybody going to recognize? Nobody's going to recognize Taryn, but
Who's gonna recognize Von V?
yeah, that's what I'm actually rolling. It's like if anybody is just like Von V, and a couple people are gonna just look over at you and recognize you from the university, but not who you are, and they go back to your meal.
Okay.
Archarchoness Kypeldin is going to stand up from the head of the table and bring a cloth to his face and wipe his mouth and say, more guests from the university. He holds his hands together for a minute and says, I don't remember sending anyone of you specifically an invite. This is a celebration of the Yapple Award. Or rather, not a celebration, but honoring the life of one of our dearest companions. He's gonna look around and say, nevertheless, get them some chairs. The serving staff that's taking plates away are going to run inside the chef's room up here and come out with some more dining furniture. He gestures to the table and he sits back down.
I'll be polite and I think I'll sit down. Yeah.
I will be the gentleman and hold the chair out for the lady.
Oh boy.
I have to say, Matir would not fit in here. Everyone else is wearing light armor, robes, and I'm in full metal plate, adamantine armor.
Everybody in Ilderon Tales is very well dressed, and the joke I like to constantly make in the campaigns, this is a coastal nation on the equator. It's an insult to clothes to call the strings they wear clothes.
Yeah. I'm just laughing because everyone's just elegantly dressed and I'm in full armor. with a long sword on my back.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, everybody here also has very dark skin, and your date, quote unquote, is someone who is as pale as ivory.
I mean, I am also a half orc, so.
Does Draylos sit down at the
not
table?
exactly matching with.
Draylos sitting down.
Not exactly matching here, and actually, another question, just for curiosity's sake. Yeah, no, the opposite attract, as you said. It's kind of.
And ladies and gentlemen, we just started the new ship for Group B.
Oh God, no!
Goodbye,
Let the fan art begin.
Goodbye,
Eric,
Roman and sadness.
does Draylos sit down? Or
Draylos is just in the corner, trying not to be noticed.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean,
going
on the outer stairway, you can just walk up and just peek your head over. And and just sit down on the stairs.
That sounds great.
Okay, so does Kai Pelden know any of you? He's going to look at Taryn, point for a minute, and say, I think I recognize you. Were you with Headmistress Winrona when she returned?
Yes. I was part of the group that helped bring her back.
He snaps and says, everybody, we've got heroes in our midst.
This is precisely why I don't want to actually be in line of eyeline.
Because he knows you.
Yeah, no,
He knows me
you.
pretty well.
He
Also,
rolled an
out of
18
curiosity,
before any bonuses on his check looking at Taryn. Just like, wait, yep.
Also, out of curiosity, what are you doing here? What are you doing while you're stealth drilling?
Draylo.
Oh, I'm
Drillis.
just staying in earshot so there's nothing missing, and yeah, I still have my daggers on me if something were to happen.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've watched too much Roman shows recently, like Spartacus. I don't trust anybody.
Fair enough. Oh.
Alright, but hearing that, Taryn's gonna blush and just look and say, I'm no hero. I'm more in the right place at the right time, I guess. We're just lucky we managed to get out of there before the explosion happened.
Well, if you know anything about heroes of legend, usually it's either that and doing the right thing when they were in the right place.
He's gonna say, last time I saw you all, you were traveling to the warfront with Dila's daughter to solve that ghost portal over Arter. Come, you must have great stories.
We never made it to Arter. We got tied up in Dawkinsdale with the Archblight and other situations. We actually managed to find and regrettably take care of or end the life of Iman Solon as he tried to kill us in the process.
A couple people are gonna just, or rather, it's gonna go just a little bit silent up here. As people don't exactly know if they should take that as good news or bad news.
Yeah, no, Taryn doesn't look too happy about it either.
Yeah. Before Kai Pelden raises a wine glass and says, well, we're here to celebrate lives that were and not mourn the losses that are. And he's gonna say, to the good, Iman did for our nation, and to the wonderful discoveries of Minlor. A couple people are going to raise their glasses and say aye.
Aye.
They drink.
Aye.
Hi.
Hey!
You hear an extra I, no one knows where it comes from.
No, one person
Quite a little
knows.
high.
Anyone
One person.
not have any... the side quest you guys never completed would have gotten assigned to one of these people.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so another
know anything
person's
about
going
this.
to speak up and say, well, I know Dila too. The poultry sickness that was going rampant in the Shattered Lands. Yeah, I delivered the recipe for the antidote that actually gave the chickens a hardy immunity to the fever. Yeah, little Nagai's gonna be safe from famine from me.
That's what Dealer tried to send us on.
And Kai Felden's going to like raise a glass. It's like preventing famine. It's a noble pursuit. He looks, he looks to you guys with his head. The Arcanist who said that with his head tilted, and he's gonna say, I try not to brag about my accomplishments or anything, but he shrugs and he drinks.
When you're in the line of work that I'm in, everybody is bragging about something, and you write songs, poems, and art about them. Trust me, I deal with people that are less modest than you.
You are going to hear something on the breath of a wind that says, not Calgarin.
Do I know who said that, or do I just hear somebody say that?
Looking up, let's see, we'll roll this person up at random. Because that's how tonight's going.
A lot of random individuals that we...
Somebody
We've just
random
gossipy.
Make all these random NPCs.
We just literally filled the entire roster of the university.
You are, nobody's like really interacted much with the university. They came, gotten quests, gotten supplies, and left. You are going to see you're going to see a person. He's got a nice hat on and on a symbol of the Wills on his neck. And he is sipping from a glass of wine. Whatever snide comment he made was under his breath and clearly not for anybody to hear.
What would we need to have to hear him?
I heard him.
He rolled a 17 on his stealth check.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Then I heard that.
Okay.
I'll just keep that to myself.
Noob.
I'm sorry that a scholar with +2 to dexterity couldn't roll godlike. He has no proficiency in stealth.
Yeah, no, he has literally no way to get it past everybody in the party.
I mean, I didn't notice.
Yeah, if we're going off passive, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, like 15 + 2 is really good.
Yeah.
No, it is. Don't get me wrong, but I still heard him. I hear a lot of things.
Look, just because you hear a fly flapping its wings 2 cities over.
He's currently focused on the 2 dogs mating outside.
All right, let's just move on from there.
Yes, please.
I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go from there either. I'm half tempted to.
Dessert's being served.
Yes, please.
And Kai Pelden is going to raise his hands and say, my friends, my colleagues, I have hired entertainment for the evening, and the upper room is ours until sunrise. Please, enjoy. And he's going to stand up, and people are going to like kind of take that as like the formal end of the dinner. People are just going to stand up and start like pairing off and like talking. Would anybody be willing to talk to you guys? No.
Yes.
You say yes, but the 6 on the percentage dice says no.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like,
Yeah.
Karen killed a Supreme Light, you know.
We're party crashers.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
would
Bondi's like
to keep
hanging
an
out
eye
with
on
this
out
half
there.
orc and, you know, full plate armor. And...
Racist bastards.
Well, also her ravens on her shoulder just kind of pecking at her braids.
A lot of pets here. We got my cat up here on my shoulder too.
You guys can
Yeah, no,
infiltrate a circle of just, you know, stepping in and like, hey, how's it going?
out of my, Von V is probably going to just kind of perk an ear up slightly and kind of see if there's any conversations that seem to pique her interest that she can hear from any of the conversation circles. Not actively trying, just kind of doing a casual look around.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to figure out what they're trying to do.
He is, she's, well, no, I was thinking about Hussein stuff. You're going to hear, one person, nearest you, and he's, going to, like, be whispering to one of his colleagues and saying, I heard, Kai Peldon called this dinner to try and recruit somebody onto a research team, and she's, gonna respond like, oh, what's he working on? Is that why he kept pulling people away all throughout the night? The man's gonna say, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's gotta be big, especially after his proposal was declined. And, she's gonna, like, with a big smile on her face of just like, juicy, juicy gossip. She doesn't say that, but, that's the end.
Yeah, no, I can read that. I have enough passive insight to read that.
Anything else interesting going on? Let's consult the percentage die.
I would history check if I know what the proposal
real quick,
that guy
Wolf,
was doing.
what were you saying? What were you saying, Goblin?
Actually, I wanted to know if that merchant that he was talking to before, the guy who became a trader after passing his exam, was here still.
Adril? Yeah, looking around, you're going to recognize him. He's talking to Kai Peldon and one other person in a small social circle nearest the chef's room.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was in the bathroom when you guys scried on the thing. Well, I did not hear that part. What happened during the mirror?
Oh, so they scried. While they were looking on the mirror, Kai Peldon had one of the arcanists pulled away. He basically gave him an invitation to work with him. Apparently, he was working. Kai Peldon was working on a project with Menlor, and he needs somebody to help complete the project, claiming that it is for the good of a Lilna guy.
And that it was pretty much almost done.
Yeah. Alright, so does Matir want to go and talk to him? And then Von B was rolling a check for the project. The proposal.
Dralos is keeping a close eye on
Okay.
Calgaren. That's the entire, his goal is to kind of keep watching Calgaren and anything he does.
Yeah, Von V's going to know a couple days ago inside of the, actually not a couple days ago, a few weeks ago, inside of the university, officials from the Supreme Lights office came through. Right now, Lilna guy is in a pretty bloody war with Arter Sarai, and Arter Sarai is about to bolster their troops by 120,000, which is going to stomp over the 80,000 that a Lilna guy has stationed at the border. If they don't find a way to end this war, a Lilna guy is going to be destroyed in a month's time. Officials from the Supreme Lights office came through the university and asked Arcanists to submit proposals of magical solutions to the problem. A lot of people did, but Von V didn't have any interest in it. Whatever was submitted was, she isn't aware of it, but if there was a proposal that was declined, that's probably what they were referring to.
Okay, yeah. Which is a bit weird that she wouldn't be involved in it, considering other culture affairs is what she specializes in.
Well, yeah, you specialize in it, but you also don't specialize in, magical destruction,
Yeah, no, I specialize in magical conjuration.
Because yeah,
Currently, I'm trying to.
specifically the question is, how do we beat an army of like, what do they have? They have an army. What do we have? We have magic. How do we beat their army with our magic? And that is
Yeah, no,
that is
I
what
know
all the
how their
proposals
cultures
were about.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of
So
them.
it's half my interest, half not. So that's why I would know. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I was like,
I'll let
oh,
everybody
that's
else do their thing.
interesting, but I don't have a proposal to submit. Sing to them a lot.
Draw them a pretty picture. All right. What is? And I'll let everybody else do their turn or stuff.
Does Materia go and talk to Adril and Capelden?
No, I don't think I will, just because I am
What's
one.
up,
I'm not really
half-orc
one of them.
army, and then just
Exactly.
armor
Yeah, I'm
and
not really
turns
one of
around.
them. If I had any questions for him, there's no. Like, I don't think he would really look at me as an equal.
Tell Siegfried to do it.
Oh, or you could
Yeah.
ask me.
I mean, I can look and read their lips. I can see them.
I can read their lips too.
Yeah.
I have
lean
one
over to
better.
my date. It'd be like, hey, that was the guy he was talking to when we were scrying on him.
Oh yes. Is there anything in particular you want to try and talk to him about? I am.
Well, the thing is, he's not actually associated with this place anymore. He said he became a trader. I don't really know how we could interact with him to actually figure out what the supposedly secret thing is, because I doubt he would actually tell us.
Hey,
I mean,
you two, give me a history check.
okay.
Or no, give me an intelligence check, and I'm gonna put it at DC 12. Not
Straight up
terribly,
intelligence.
yeah,
Alright.
not terribly
Hey,
difficult.
can it still
but
be?
you're just-
Is it history or does it have to be intelligence?
Nice.
I'll allow either. I don't care.
All right. I'm asking because.
Nice.
So as you're just how do we get into that circle? You're going to remember Kaipelden requested and had a conversation with Lysandia about that essay that you guys had. Or that you have. Like, oh, if we need an inn, we can just go talk to them about that.
All right. Shall we?
Let's. She'll get up and head towards the circle. Trying to remember on how to pronounce the name of the individual we're trying to talk to.
Kaipelden Calgarin.
Yeah, Calgarin.
All right.
Calgarin.
They're gonna look back from their group, and one of them's gonna step aside, just kind of extending the circle to encompass you two. And he's gonna snap for a second and say, Professor Vonby? You must excuse me. I don't get down to the commons enough.
Professor Salmar is my official title. Well, actually, I forget. Am I a professor? I have the equivalent of a doctorate here.
I mean, yeah, you're higher than a professor. You're an arch-arcanist.
Oh yeah, I'm arch-arcanist, so...
Okay, then.
Essentially, you have the same title as him, except, in
a different field.
Yeah. And he's,
Arch-arcanist Salmar.
And he's, gonna say, excuse me. He's, gonna say, had a little bit too much wine tonight. And he's gonna
It's fine.
gesture for you to step forward and say, please, join us.
Yes,
Don't mind if I do.
We bumped into a colleague of yours that was studying this matters that seem to have been in Greek of yours. Trying to remember how I phrase these things because I'm not used to playing high charismatic characters. I am sorry. with the there was introductory to some kind of magic that I wasn't fully into. That's a little bit out of my jurisdiction at the moment, but involving. I'm trying to remember the individual's name. Listen, I know it was like something. I'm saying this out of character. Yes, we bumped into Lysandria earlier, and we were having a bit of a discuss on some of her works that was going on, and she mentioned that. Trying to phrase this in a way that doesn't.
That doesn't accuse him.
Yeah.
And
That he was working on a project.
But you were working on a project, and I was a bit curious on what kind of project were you working on?
Adrill is going to look over at him, and he's going to, and the other Arcanist is going to look at him too, and he's going to say, "Oh, working on a project? No. I was doing research. Lysandria created or wrote a rather opinionated piece about morality and involving some more extreme magical measures. I simply wanted to familiarize myself with the moral standpoints that she was making."
Well, that's understandable.
That is quite understandable. I'm trying to think of what kind to ask.
Yeah.
Again, that used to play.
The other.
Hey, don't look at me. I have
Arcanist-
a 0 in charisma.
Yeah, the other Arcanist that's like sitting there talking to him is
Yeah, I can try.
going to say, yes, I'd be quite surprised to find out if you are working on anything. Half of us had our proposals to the Supreme Light decline. If you got funding under our nose, she smiles and points jokingly but threatening and says, "I would never let that. I'd never not hold that against you." Kaipeldon laughs and says, "Of course not."
I have to say, when she does that, in the middle of this conversation, I go, ooh.
I'll give you a bit of an elbow shove. Like, oh boy.
Alright.
Yes, I was hearing about those. I was kind of curious to see if any, as it did involve multiple cultures or my speciality. I wasn't ever really good at the more militaristic uses of magic, but I was curious to see what kind of proposal was accepted, or what ideas that you all had towards solving it.
The woman who spoke up is going to say, my proposal involved a coordinated positioning of firestorms over the army, opening them up and letting them rain. However, it got declined. And Kaipeldon is going to say, of course it would. With a firestorm, you could kill maybe a battalion, a couple hundred men, but there's hundreds of thousands of them. And she's going to drink from her glass, and she's going to say, and you never let anybody know what your proposal was. And he says, of course not. It got declined. He shrugs and says, there's no reason losing sleep over it. And she's going to say, besides, I just don't think people put enough stock in druidic magic.
I want to chuckle at that and smile at it. Yeah. A wolf man at far away chuckles a little bit at that. Well, it doesn't hurt to be able to theorycraft of what could happen. I am quite interested in, since it is a more military, like I said, it is a field that I specialize in myself. Always intrigued to see how they pair up against it.
The woman takes a drink, and she's gonna turn her eyes towards our Kypeldon and say, "I heard you and Minlor submitted a proposal together." And he's gonna say, "Yes, and the half of that proposal that depended on him should have ever been a thing." He shakes his head and says, "Rest in the grave with him. May Lilia guide his spirit."
Ask what his half was. Ask what his half was.
What was his half in your proposal, if I may say?
No, I know I shouldn't have said anything, but
I know. It just...
You know what? I'm going to roll him
I can roll.
Constitution save just to see how drunk he is. Oh, he's good. He's holding his wine.
Alright.
He's gonna laugh and say, Monby, when you get about 2 more Arch Arcanist's attributions and evocation, talk to me about that.
Oh. It's calling rank.
Oh, snap.
Yes, I'm
It's one of those.
currently not studying invocation. I'm actually studying conjuration, and I find it quite interesting that the Calcan kept questioning me about me trying to animate my paintings. Something that I'm sure you would find quite amusing.
The woman turns to, she's not holding her alcohol so well. She's gonna turn to Kypelda and say, "Oh, conjuration! Don't you have a Peldith in that?" He's gonna say, "Yes, but my focus isn't in simple summoning. It's transportation. It's completely different. Teleportation and higher level magic. Completely."
Oh, I know that quite well, actually. Jesus. I'm like, I know that spell quite well, honestly. Find it quite useful to get away from something, especially avoiding conversations I don't enjoy.
Yeah, and he is. Let's roll him one last check, and he's gonna say, "Well, if there's nothing else, if you'd excuse us." He nods politely.
Reading his with my passive insight, how is he feeling about these questions I'm giving him?
You're treading uncomfortably close to something that he doesn't want to share with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can ask him if he murdered Minlor.
Oh.
No.
Okay. Hang on. I have an idea. Okay, I'm going to pull you aside. Okay, and I'm going to look at you and I'm going to look you in the eyes. I'm going to say, "What if we take that ball of the gel that turns into smoke and just shake it in front of him?"
that's
Are you whispering this?
Well, yeah, I literally grabbed you, pulled you off to the side of the room, and started whispering.
Roll me a
this to you.
stealth check.
Oh no.
How stealthy can a half-orc in plate mail armor be? Just
See, the thing is, technically I'm at disadvantage on stealth checks, but I'm talking.
Yeah, I would argue that if it's verbal, you should
go for it.
But
Okay. Oh, this is not going to end well.
I'm half tempted to give
Alright,
you
let's see.
bardic inspiration for the conversation, but I don't want to because Wonby is completely unsure of what's going on here.
I got a 12.
That's fine.
It's not bad.
And he is going to Vambi can respond actually to this.
Yeah,
What do you say?
As entertaining as a reaction I feel. Actually, I'm going to. From what I can tell, if we do, I'm actually going to try and do a stealth check myself. But no, stealth. I'm being a lot more stealthy than you. Okay.
Yep.
From what I can tell, if we were to try and do this, we would cause a bigger scene than you would expect, and I wouldn't recommend it. Although,
Well, I don't mean in the middle of the party.
fair.
Like when he leaves, we follow him and then we confront him with it. In the middle of the party, that would people would think freak out. It would be like terrorists trying to blow up the tower.
Yes, fair enough. Although, it wouldn't hurt to get some information before I cast my magic. Actually, that does give me a good question, though. We'll keep that in mind, but I would recommend talking to the rest of the party before you actually do that. She's going to walk back to the circle and say, I actually was recently hearing about some investigations that was going on with Macambi. Is that his name? The
Minlor?
person that Minlor of Minlor. With that being stated, with Minlor, I was wondering if you knew anything at all about it. It's quite sudden, surprisingly, and and you know me, I always enjoy a good mystery. Well, if you know me, you would know I enjoy a good mystery. When she says this after she goes back to the circle where the two archanists are.
Okay. Well, there's three of them. There's the woman,
three.
Adriel, and him. And he's going to say, Aliskinis and Adriel, if you'll give us a moment of privacy. They both nod, and they're going to go mingle with other people. He looks to each of you and says, I understand Dila put you in charge of Minlord's investigation.
Yes.
Not me. I'm just here.
Roll me a deception check.
I'll give a bardic inspiration on that. I said,
This guy is on her inner circle.
Oh yeah, that's literally one of my flaws. I just deny everything about me, pretty much.
That's fine.
Brandon, I want to ask, am I able to see most of this going on?
Yeah, you can see.
Okay.
You can see Kai Peldon's mouth, but not your party members.
Okay, that's fine. Or like, I guess I'm gonna be unless Taryn wanted to go like mingle with people, I would be telling her roughly like what I'm saying.
Spilling the tea, Roman style.
I figured we were just dancing the entire time.
Oh, okay. If you know what, Taryn would probably do that. So yeah, never mind.
Okay, so he's going to say, allow me to clear the air. Clear me off of any list of any of your suspected suspects. I had every reason and intention for Minlor's good health and well-being, and his death comes as a terrible, terrible tragedy to me. And I hope you the best that you find whoever did this and you bring them to justice. And should you require my assistance in the matter, I'd be happy to extend it.
Thank you. With my passive insight, how genuine is that?
I mean,
22.
pretty genuine. Of just like you're gonna see his demeanor change. Like he's not dancing around anything. It's just like, yeah, I want you guys to find this person. I want you guys to,
Well,
kill him.
with that being stated,
Okay.
I would appreciate any information you knew about, like what he was doing, or some individuals he might have been with, might have known that might have happened to hurt him or anything like that, if you know anything at all.
He is gonna think. He's going to look around and say, will you be writing a report and submitting it to Dila?
Only what I must, and once this is completed.
He shakes his head and says, I'm speaking off the record now.
Yes.
And he is going to make a stealth check, lean in, and he's going to... Oh, I never put his dexterity on his sheet. Cool. He's going to say to Von V and Matir and say, I was personally funding Minlord and my research. After the Supreme Light declined our proposal, I took it upon myself. I believe my solution's the best solution for a Lona guy. And he's going to say, the problem with every other proposal that you'll find is that it targets and tries to deal with the army, needing magic for hundreds of thousands of soldiers. He's going to shake his head and say, what you want is the officers, the generals, the counselors, the leaders, the people commanding the army, and then it falls apart. So I can say, I can't say any more than that.
Tear the army at the foundation.
And he's going to nod and say, that orb you found, bring that by my office. It's confidential research. Drop it off there and I can continue it. And whenever you find out who's behind this, let me know.
We'll keep that in mind. Thank you. She's going to...
I don't, yeah.
Yeah, not gonna make any verbal promises, but she's going to nod and say, I am sorry for your loss, by the way. I might not have known him personally, but it always hurts for someone to lose someone they care about, or something. I know this all too well.
He looks at Adriel and says, sometimes when the forest burns down, the seeds grow taller. Almost distractingly so.
Right.
I feel like that's a good place to end for the night. Is everybody comfortable ending there?
Yeah. That's a good spot.
Yeah.
All right. We will end there. And what level did I start you guys off at? 12? Yeah.
I am currently I am 13. There are some members of the party that are 12.
Yeah, it's 12:10 for me right now.
Oh, no,
not time.
No, level.
Not the time level.
Wait, everybody should be at the same level.
Yeah, we should be all 13.
Yeah, no, my internet's cutting out right now, so I'm just hearing numbers.
Oh, no, no, he's asking what level is everybody.
13 for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody should be flat 13, I believe.
All right. You guys actually got a lot done. You have a prime suspect. You have a secondary suspect that you made really mad.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was trying to be reasonable.
I wasn't.
Yeah, you guys found 2 major clues. Although I don't think you guys put them together. What else major happened tonight?
Well, for the new members of the party, we discovered the multiple personality disorder of.
I'll put that as minor.
Yeah, I said that's why I said for the new members of the party.
Technically, everyone except for Draelos is a new member of the party right now.
Yeah.
And Ramon, I'm sorry, but you knew if I flirted with Rob back in the day, I had to do it with you at some.
You have to go for the special eyes.
I will give you guys major experience if anybody can conjecture why Kai Peldon wanted Lysandia's thesis, or what him and Minlor were trying to create.
He's a conjuration. It's all about using devil magic. And he was just talking about the fact that he wants to target specific people. So from what I'm guessing, he probably wants to either banish or place certain members of the military head with some kind of demon or other.
With somewhat?
Demon or other type of creature, since he is a conjuration.
Yeah.
Also.
I would almost argue of targeting the major political factors, but with considering what we know of the friend, he's not planning on bringing someone in. He's planning on placing objects in barracks and locations of them and blowing them up, essentially.
It's possible.
I would like to throw in a conjecture. Menlar, being the creator of the sludge and so forth, he's probably the brains. He's the Simon to Simon and Garfunkel. And probably actually has all the material that what's his name? That's
Cal Paladin.
That Caden.
If you guys look in live campaign, there's a really good guess right there.
Yeah, the teleportation
bomb.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Teleporting bombs is.
I mean, I already said that. I said teleportation grenades.
Yeah, there is a little bit more to it that you guys haven't discovered, but yeah, so far. So I'll give you guys experience for that. So I'm going to say in total tonight, 6,500 experience.
Ooh.
Okay. And an inspiration for Admir. And
yes,
we will pick up on the 22nd on a Saturday. Is everybody comfortable making that?
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Okay. Oh yeah, Eric told me he would be driving home from Vegas. So
I'm going to be getting off the plane at some point. I don't know the exact time. I'll post in Group B.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay, and we'll adjust as needed. All right, thank you guys. Good session tonight, and I'm going to end the broadcast there.
Brandon, what'd you say?